It's once again that time to see who will climb the ladder and seize the prize, punch their ticket towards their destiny, maybe even tonight. It is once again that annual tradition where it might be a human car wreck. Welcome, everybody, to our coverage of WWE Money in the Bank. Welcome to the pre-show discussion. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again here at the Survival Studios. You know what this is. I'm the Seminole Foster with my color analyst in all things WWE, particularly the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, as we bring you our coverage of WWE Money in the Bank. Figure those that tune into our coverage, both English and Spanish, for Worlds Collide. It's good to see you all once again. And to those that tune in for the first time, we provide alternative comedy coverage towards all the biggest shows, PLE specials, pay-per-views across all things professional wrestling, WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA, just to name a few. And if you want to dictate the conversation, super chat, pay by the patch, as simple as that. Other than that, please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. We hope to bring you a fun outlook on this virtual watch along for tonight's coverage of WWE Money in the Bank. And shout out to the alternative team that will be covering something else that we'll talk about here shortly. That being said, now that I got the unique shills out of the way, and also to all those in the predictions league, your predictions are now officially final. Entry is closed. Good luck to you all. JJ, once again, we're back in the hot seat. We moved from the fabulous forum to the absolutely ridiculous Intuit Dome for WWE Money in the Bank. How you feel about tonight's event?
Man, Money in the Bank is one of the highlights every year. And while I do wish that they would move the matches back to WrestleMania, I do feel that it's also justified to have its own PLE. It's one of the rare breeds of a specialty match where its own PLE is definitely justified because it's such a spectacle. But especially now that Mania is 2 nights, I wish they would move it back to Mania. Do the men's one night, the women's one night. That way, you've got a featured match.
Right.
Each night to look forward to.
Huh.
And I mean, if you get a same night cash in, then somebody cashes in at Mania. So, or, whoever wins the briefcase night 1 could theoretically cash in night 2.
Well, again, we'll see tonight if we get cash-ins tonight or teas on the way to the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Regardless, history to be made. We got first-time participants. We got previous Money in the Bank ladder match participants. We even got previous Money in the Bank winners and successful cash-in holders across the women, particularly. The women, of course, with 100% success rate, but the men have dwindled down to 80%. That being said, we have for those that watch Worlds Collide, we had a 5th match added. So, spoiler alert for y'all in case you don't know. Beep, 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 beep. Dominic Mysterio will be defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship tonight against Triple A's Octagon Jr. This match really stemmed off the events that happened at Worlds Collide as he insulted Lucha Libre, Triple A, and Rey Mysterio, as he always does, as Octagon Jr. and company got the better of the Latino World Order. They got into an altercation, and Dom Mysterio said he's going to prove that he's the best luchador and embarrass Triple A by not only facing Octagon Jr. here tonight, Money in the Bank, but defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship. JJ, this match was not even made 3 hours ago, practically. What do you think about this? Let's call it what it is, inter-promotional exhibition.
I think this is phenomenal, dude. Octagon Jr. really impressed me in the match that he had at Worlds Collide. Dominic's going to retain. He's not going to lose the belt so soon. He's not going to lose it in an encounter like this, but I think this match is going to help add to the legacy of Dirty Dom.
Yeah,
and that's what he needs. He needs matches that are going to add to the aura of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, as he keeps calling himself the best luchador, the greatest Intercontinental champion, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we celebrated Triple A on Lucha Libre earlier today, and Octagon Jr., of course, no stranger to gold, no stranger to colliding with Mysterio, if you know, folks, especially the legacy of his family. But yeah, it's like what happened with Chad and the King. Oh my God, what a match. It's going to be a showcase, particularly for Octagon Jr. on the WWE Grander stage and the WWE wider viewing audience. But this should be an exhibition, but I also do agree. I don't think Dominic Mysterio is losing either. It more so comes down to, are we going to get another challenger following this? And will it be from Triple A, particularly? Because we know we are not too far away from the Fabulous Forum where pretty much most of the AAA roster we saw and then some were probably in that building in gorilla position, if not in catering.
Absolutely.
Well, that being said, now that we talked about the additional match on our card, let's go ahead and get into tonight's actual activities. Again, we have 5 matches on tap. And speaking of American Championships, it is Becky Lynch, Lyra, Valkyria 3. As it is once again the second time now for the Women's Intercontinental Championship after the phenomenal match at Backlash, where Becky Lynch, desperate as she could be, tried to pull every move possible, including an exposed turnbuckle that Lyra just missed, and rake her in the eyes and possibly busted her nose. Lyra was able to ride high, still leaving with the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship with her eyes closed. Now, while she's got this even more shroud of confidence surrounding her, she is also driven by anger. Not looking at a role model, not looking at a friend, but looking at an enemy and at a rival that she's looking to humble once again. This time, the stakes are a little bit more higher, though. More than just the prize, it is embarrassment on the line. For if Becky wins, she demands that Lyra Valkyria raise her hand post-match. With Bailey still MIA since WrestleMania, and we are in California, that remains to be seen. But JJ, it's almost one of those WWE tropes where if we run a match back, you expect the result to be different. Last year, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn won at Money in the Bank. Sami won. At SummerSlam, Braun squashed the man less than 5 minutes. And while I don't see this being a squash, it only takes one mistake for Becky to figure out 3 seconds to leave the title. Do you think Becky gets it done here tonight?
Becky is who I have in our predictions league because the stipulation is here. If Becky loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Lyra is champion.
Correct.
Traditionally speaking, when that stipulation is in effect, that person wins. So I got Becky winning here, and then Madman, Bossman Rift through a bonus point. Do we see Bayley? I think Bayley emerges from the shadows once Becky becomes champion, seek her revenge on Becky for taking her out prior to the tag team match at WrestleMania. Lyra, of course, will have her quote-unquote rematch clause. I think at Evolution 2 we see a triple threat for the IC title. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Lyra, Becky the defending champion.
It's also one of those things, though, where, again, I don't think Becky needs this. And as Lyra has been the very first champion since being Dakota Kai in the inaugural tournament, I don't think there's a reason that Lyra should lose it right now. But these stipulations on both sides really throw a monkey wrench into this. Either way, I really want to see things actually change from the conventional, and I think Lyra still being the champion is a good step towards that. And I do think Bayley shows up tonight. And if Bayley costs Becky the title, then you don't need to have necessarily the championship involved. I personally don't think Becky or Bayley need the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship right now at all, whether or not they do have a rivalry on our way to Evolution, which is next month, ironically. I'm still holding out and saying that Lyra retains.
And I agree with you that Becky and Bayley doesn't really need the title, but as much as I love Lyra, and I feel she's really kicked it up here this last month and a half, 2 months since Becky's heel turn, her title reign thus far has been very, very flat. And with this being an inaugural championship, you need someone who's going to elevate it. Now, Chelsea Green did a phenomenal job for the Women's United States Championship, and now it backslid to Zelina. As much as I feel like Zelina deserves a push, deserves a secondary championship, because we all know she's not going to win either of the prestigious women's titles, Zelina's been a huge downgrade from Chelsea Green.
Accurate.
Becky or Bayley will be a huge upgrade from Lyra and will start getting that title, the prominence that it needs. You got to figure, not only do we have Evolution coming up, but we have Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where women traditionally have been held down. So we're going to possibly get this title showcased there. Night of Champions, we need a huge champion going in there. And then after that is the first 2 nights SummerSlam. You can't have a lackluster champion defending the title on a prestigious event like the first ever 2 nights SummerSlam. So whether it's Becky or Bayley, one of them is going to dethrone Lyra and it may as well be Becky Lynch, the woman
Yeah,
Lyra dethroned for the NXT Women's Championship, bringing it back full circle.
I understand what you mean, but it's also one of those things. If we're going to really ride or die with this new generation rising, being signed by WWE, then you got to give them the chance. And I think that's why they put her through the ringer at Backlash. Becky, to her credit, says, "All I did was made you better." And truly, Lyra has been her strongest in confidence in herself since Becky Lynch basically brought this out of her. And I think to really culminate that, I think Lyra needs to make sure that Becky is no longer a factor. It's like Io Sky, who proved a point at WrestleMania. No longer the afterthought. She is the talking point. She is the freaking champion. And I think Lyra can do very much the same. Maybe she doesn't have necessarily a gimmick besides woo that connects with the people, but I do think it's a testament to her as a workhorse champion to continue to hold on to this. But I understand where you're coming from when it comes to the 2-night SummerSlam. Jury's out as far as what they're going to do with Becky or Bayley, whether they're involved in golden contention or a tag team confrontation on opposite sides. Either way, I think Lyra should continue to soar high as the women's Intercontinental champion, because the only way you truly prove your merit is if you continue to try and test yourself versus test everyone else's opinions about you while doing it. Either way, I'm looking forward to this again, and I'm expecting this to go as far and as hard as Backlash, if not harder. And I'm also expecting Becky to be more desperate. All right. Well, that being said, we have so much more to come, and as a great point there, by the way, as we got a little bit of a recap, of course, of last year's Money in the Bank. This is a tag match. We have, of course, the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes go up against John Cena and Logan Paul. Okay. Well, I mean, again, there's a lot of ties here. Cody, of course, first time we saw him was at Saturday Night's Main Event since losing to John Cena at WrestleMania. Jey Uso, of course, thankfully retained the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul, who's still hell bent on getting that. And we know regardless of what happens tonight, as of right now, he's supposed to defend the title against, supposed to be tonight, Gunther on Monday Night Raw. But that being said, we saw last night Friday Night SmackDown during the confrontation. Both the men shaded in green stood tall, with Logan Paul holding Jay's title. It's one of those things you could say throwaway because you don't know how this relates to Night of Champions or SummerSlam, but JJ, I don't see the former undisputed World Tag Team Champions losing to these two. I think Jay and Cody will win, but what do you think comes from it?
What is John Cena's mission statement?
To ruin wrestling.
What would help ruin wrestling?
To screw Jey Uso.
Cena and Logan Paul get the W here.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. As much as I love yeeting when Jay comes out, as much as I know and respect the fact that wrestling has more than one royal family,
damn it,
and I love to woe with Cody Rhodes, John Cena's mission statement is about ruining wrestling. And John Cena and Logan Paul getting the W here adds to that. Do you really think John Cena is going to eat a bunch of L's on his way to his retirement? No, he's Super Cena. And yes, Logan's with him. Logan can get the pinfall. John didn't get pinned, blah, blah, blah. John Cena is giving us everything that we hated about him for all those years. He didn't change. He changed his attitude a little bit, but he didn't change his gear. He didn't change his music. His Tron is now black and just says John Cena, but that's the only thing he changed. He still has Rise Above Hate on his gear. He still has Never Give Up on his gear. He is still Super Cena. Super Cena is not going to lose until his final match. John Cena and Logan Paul get the W here.
So you see no way John Cena turning on Logan Paul and letting Logan Paul get embarrassed if it comes that desperate. You see no way of that happening.
Because that would make Logan Paul a babyface. And Logan Paul is not a babyface.
Nah, definitely not.
However, Cody looks like he's leaning a little bit more to snapping. And if Jay gets pinned here despite being the champion, Cody may lose his shit a little bit more.
Well, he always said, though, that he will never go heel, but we know the classic trope, never say never. But it's just one of those things right now until we yeet again. Here we are tonight, yeeting. And also, you can't let Jey Uso look weak ahead of facing Gunther tomorrow night. Money in the Bank cash and be damned. I don't think a cash in is going to happen. Despite the fact, if you look at the Internet Dome folks like we have, the women's Money in the Bank briefcase is held up by itself right now first. It tells me that that might be our opener. Different conversation, considering that's the only women's contest regarding a world championship opportunity. It's just one of those things right now where I can't see Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes losing to John Cena and that guy. It's just one of those things right now also with Night of Champions and SummerSlam. There's too much right now for Jey Uso to worry about besides eating an L alongside Cody Rhodes. And to Cody's credit, Cody right now has nothing else in this agenda but going after John Cena. And it would not surprise me if they do Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam. I mean, again, Logan Paul is always going to bring his impulsive attitude, but he's not full-time in this as well. Let's keep that in mind also. And it is also one of those things right now on Monday Night Raw. He's going to focus his attack on Jey Uso. John Cena is out for one thing and one thing only, himself and to ruin pro wrestling. And I don't think ruining pro wrestling right now involves him and Logan Paul winning against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes if Logan Paul's the guy to take all the credit. So I just think that Jey and Cody have to win this tonight.
And I don't think we're getting Cena and Cody at SummerSlam. I think we're going to get it sooner than that.
Night of Champions.
Saturday night's main event. Atlanta, Georgia.
Cody's hometown.
Everybody was talking about and speculating that we were going to get Goldberg's retirement match there. But reports have come out the last couple of days that Goldberg has gotten injured a couple times here training for his final match.
Not shocked by that.
So I don't think they can pull the trigger on that at Saturday night's main event. If Goldberg is healthy, or at least on the road to healthy, I could see them starting the program at Saturday night's main event, culminating in maybe the two-night SummerSlam, which I think as much as it would be cool for Goldberg to have the match in Atlanta at center stage, which housed WCW Saturday Night for all those years, I think it would be better for him to have it on that huge stage. You need a big marquee match for your two-night SummerSlam. You also know that the Saudi government is probably going to try to get the Goldberg match there at Night of Champions. But I think we see Cody versus Cena at Saturday night's main event.
Now, it isn't his hometown. It'll be probably brought to you by Coca-Cola. So I can understand your standpoint there. But I do think, though, at the end of the day, as far as the biggest story you put in, why not run back the biggest tragedy in Cody Rhodes' life on the next biggest stage of them all, and a stage that John Cena has so much history with, losing to also finally get a big win. Again, first ever two-night SummerSlam. You need to pull out all the stops. There's not a bigger rival right now in WWE for John Cena than Cody Rhodes. Period. Close the bow on that at freaking SummerSlam and move on from there. Saturday night's main event, you hype it up. Let's go ahead and hype up what we're really here for, though, and that is the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Of course, as we talked about, the men, it is not 100%. But the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, of course, we have previous Money in the Bank winners, previous Money in the Bank participants, and first-time ever participants, as we see, of course, the correspondents talking about the dangers that ensue here. We have Andrade El Idolo, Seth freaking Rollins, L.A. Knight. Yeah, I gotta say it. And, of course, Sikoa, Penta, Yellow, and the guy I'm not going to say. So,
Grande Americano.
And that being said, each of these men qualified for a triple threat match. We are 11 minutes and 15 seconds away from Money in the Bank. We know Seth freaking Rollins did it back when he was with the Authority. He gave us the catch of the century, all right? LA Knight was literally a hands away from grabbing it before Damian Priest took himself and heaven became El Campeon. And then you have Andrade, who's done some damning things in this match and has never won it, while Solo Sikoa, Penta Ciamero, and this is new territory for them, JJ. So, again, does favor does this match favor the familiar, or is it more expected to be done by the unexpected? And LA, is that too much of a trope per se? What do you think about this?
Well, LA Knight was my primary pick.
Yeah.
Just something about the megastar in the City of Angels, the City of Superstars, Hollywood, California, LA Knight, Los Angeles. Seemed like this was the perfect opportunity to pull the trigger on him.
Right.
So I think they've got to go with LA Knight here because he's getting up there in age. If they don't pull the trigger now, they're never going to pull the trigger.
Right.
However, and I know I can't change my picks because it's all locked in now.
Yep.
Seth Rollins and everything that he's doing on Monday night.
The Vision.
I could see him picking up another briefcase here. I believe he would become the third two-time Money in the Bank winner.
Yes, after CM Punk and I believe the Rated R Superstar Edge. But that being said, the face-off between the two, factions of absolute power and control, the Bloodline and the Vision, you don't think Sikoa and Jay Cobb and Tama Tonga or Jacob Fatu won't get involved in this alongside Bronson Reed and freaking Braun Breaker?
They may get involved, but I don't, everybody's got somebody that can get involved, really. Andrade's been feuding with Carmelo Hayes. Melo could get involved to cost Andrade. Seth is in here. Bronson Reed can get involved. Braun Breaker can get involved. LA Knight's been feuding with a variety of people. Solo's got his Timu bloodline. Penta has got, his brother, who they haven't really been connected on WWE TV yet, but it could be a way to work them together. El Grande Americano represents American made. So you've got the Creed brothers, you've got Ivy, for the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams involved. You've got Stat Boy Mike that can get involved here. There's so many different ways that this could go, but my money is on LA Knight first and El Grande Americano second.
I just think that LA, it screams WWE marketing. Yeah, we already got a Slim Jim endorsement by freaking megastar. It just feels like he needs to have this briefcase. He will do so much gloating and publicity with it. And Seth freaking Rollins, let's be honest here, CM Punk's going to be out of the dead to make sure that man never becomes champion again. So as soon as he gets the Money in the Bank, he's going to screw him like he did Drew McIntyre last year, as we just saw in the recap as Michael Cole makes his way into the ring. And it's another one of those things right now. I mean, Penta, unfamiliar territory. Solo, unfamiliar territory. Andrade, El Idolo, and Penta, I can see them doing something crazy like a sunset flip off the damn ladder. It just feels like to me, outside Seth in LA, nobody else right now is a worthy pick to win Money in the Bank.
And again, El Grande Americano, don't count him short. I know you want to.
Damn right.
But with AAA Mania coming up in August, and the briefcase being able to challenge for any championship, I wouldn't put it past El Grande Americano to cash in on Vikingo and take the title from him.
We saw Chad Gable give the fight of his life against the Triple M Mega Champion at a 2-year point. And Stat Boy, I want to say real quick, give it a follow, folks. Follow him at the Sports Bar with Dory Lou, and shout out to your work with covering the NBA playoffs and, of course, opening days across all professional sports, baseball, hockey, etc. And thank you for the stats. We'll definitely be disclosing those during the show. Let's go ahead and talk real quick about the real reason we're here tonight, the number one match that matters, and we'll let Stat Boy kick things off here because this field right here, anybody could take this briefcase if I'm being sincerely honest. But there are some people that might only be looking at truly, maybe just two. Maybe you're looking at all of them for different reasons too, as Wade Barrett makes his way, dropping the boom in his own way. So again, Stat Boy, you talked about verbatim onto the predicting. Why don't you go ahead and give your closing remarks towards this women's Money Bank Ladder match? Did Friday Night SmackDown sway you at all, knowing we saw six of these women in action?
No, it did not. I was briefly checking out SmackDown while I was doing the watch alongs and all that. I'm still going to stick with my guns. I'm still going to say that Roxanne Perez is going to become Miss Money in the Bank. It's time for the new blood. It's time for the new NXT. Um, I love no disrespect to Mommy, Alexa, and Naomi, but their time is done. They're doing storylines that Naomi's playing the "You're still my friend, Bianca" type stuff. I love Mommy, but I can't see her having the belt again. I don't know what they're doing with Alexa, so that only leaves one of the three, and the one that shows the most promising is Roxanne. Um, I think Stephanie and Giulia, as I put in the stats, they've had a great career and a great rivalry, I guess. But it's time for Roxanne. This is Roxanne's moment. They're going to pull the trigger on her, and then I would love to see a match between Roxanne and Io. Those two will tear the house down.
I mean, that doesn't even need the Money in the Bank briefcase. We already saw a match with them, and we saw Io get the better of her with a roll-up, which led to, of course, a post-match attack. JJ, again, it's your NXT, damn it. We talked about the prodigy Roxanne Perez. I've been endorsing Roxy before she became part of WWE, and I still believe in Joe Hendry. But that being said, she's already been involved in ladder matches before. We saw Stand Deliver. She lost down the vacated NXT Women's Championship. She's also been involved in multi-women warfare, not just the Royal Rumble, but the Elimination Chamber. And this is her first Money in the Bank ladder match. So, again, it's one of those things. Do you think the prodigy can actually do it this time? And could Judgment Day maybe back her up in this case?
Absolutely. Roxanne is my primary pick as well. And I heard a lot of people on prediction panels, not just on yours, but on No DQ and on some others that I watched, talking about how it's too soon for Giulia, Roxanne, and Stephanie. What people have to remember is you have a year to cash this in. And
Exactly.
while it may be too soon right now, today, considering those three just moved up within the past month officially to the main roster, they've got a year. What I think this really comes down to at the end of the day is how quickly do they want to pull the trigger on the cash in? If they want to pull the trigger ASAP to take the belt off of Io or take the belt off of Tiffany, then look for Naomi, Alexa, or Rhea to win. If they want to give the Money in the Bank briefcase holder time to grow, shine, and prove, look for Giulia, Roxanne, or Stephanie. My picks are Roxanne and Stephanie because, to Mike's point, I don't think the other three need them. You know, they can get title matches based off of their caliber anytime. The only one who maybe really needs it is Naomi. But Naomi is still embroiled in the rivalry with Jade and Bianca. I could see Jade costing her the opportunity if she gets too close. As we see Victor Solomon in the ring for whatever reason. I have my thing muted.
He is singing the national anthem. So we'll take a
Fair
break
enough.
here.
I'll
and
turn
do this.
my feet up in a moment. But Alexa Bliss is an interesting one here, though, because I could see the lights go out and the Wyatt Six help her get the championship, the briefcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Note to self, put an American flag in the top right-hand corner going forward.
All
You got
right.
some soul in his pipes.
The
Thank
only
you very
reason
much.
for Rhea to win would be for marketing purposes. Mommy in the Bank. I heard a bunch of people talk about that. WWE is a marketing machine. They're all about sales. I could see them pulling the trigger on that just for the marketing value. But I think your two most likely are Roxanne and Stephanie. Again, you heard earlier the reaction that Stephanie gets when she does the devil's kiss to the main roster crowd. I never want to hear anybody saying that main roster fans don't watch NXT because they totally are in sync and do the shtick with her. She's ready. And she'll definitely be ready within a year's time. I could see her doing a Mania cash in.
And fair point. We'll see tonight if Cody, Rhodes, and Jey Uso are ready. As you see the Maverick, Logan Paul, coming in with his entourage ahead of this star-studded tag team match involving both the undisputed WWE champion and, of course, the World Heavyweight champion. And we also see the man, Becky Lynch, looking to once again send Lyra to the big time, looking to become the WWE Women's Intercontinental champion to force Lyra to raise her hand. Otherwise, Lyra will make sure that Becky will never challenge for this title again. And there you see Dominic Mysterio with Liv Morgan. As we learned during Worlds Collide, Dominic Mysterio will defend the Intercontinental Championship tonight against AAA wrestler Octagon Jr. The stars are out tonight in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome. Capacity crowd expected on hand as we get ready for Mission Impossible, Money in the Bank. And of course, we all know how this goes. Climb the ladder, grab the briefcase, cash in on the contract, and punch your ticket towards becoming a world champion in WWE. It sounds extremely simple, but it can be extremely painful and difficult. And there you see the Vision, Seth freaking Rollins coming in with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and of course, Paul Heyman. Now, on the other side of things with the women, as we just talked about, you talked about merchandising. There, of course, is Little Miss Alexa Bliss, former Money in the Bank winner and successful cash-in participant. But are we going to say LA in LA, Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
LA Knight arrives tonight. We'll see if third times be the charm tonight for LA Knight. And of course, the typical trope, mommy is always on top. There you see Rhea Ripley.
Without all her makeup caked on.
Again, there is such a thing as
She's so
natural
naturally
beauty.
beautiful.
Some people actually know how to do that. As we go into our cold opener, and this is not James Bond, but it certainly feels like that with the spotlight thing. And again, hope everyone enjoys our coverage, watch along, and reactions towards this entire event as we bring you our coverage of Money in the Bank. Money, 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 money. Money talks, losers walk. Yeah, right now, the big typical opener here. Everybody wants it. Well, yeah, no one has enough freaking money. And Body Man saying Naomi, but you'll also put the bow on your point about the women here, because I believe that's what's going to kick off tonight's event. Naomi got a feud with Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair, you only can push that woman so hard before she cracks that whip against your chest. Giulia's going to go out to Selena Vega on the WWE Women's United States Championship. Clearly, maybe that U.S. title will matter again. Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, has everything going for her in WWE to be a future world champion. Will Money in the Bank help that matter, though? Little Miss Alexa Bliss, direction unknown, as she looks like that she wants to be a friend to Charlotte Flair, who still says no. But we saw the blonde summer with her and Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Is that a triple threat to come? Mommy Rhea Ripley, who's always on top, left without a friend, left without direction, left without a championship. Maybe Money in the Bank is how she gets back on top through either Raw or SmackDown, as we saw her confront Tiffany Stratton. And of course, live from Arizona, Vaquer, former NXT Women and NXT Women's North American Champion, working double duty, being successful at Worlds Collide alongside Lola Vice. Can she make more history tonight in her first ever Money in the Bank ladder match? It's a who's who across this field. But I think if I'm going to give my final thoughts, and they're already locked in, you already know what I said before, I still think I got to go with either Roxanne Perez or Rhea Ripley. Those are my picks. Again, they do the typical
So
cold opener.
quickly, Noah, and I don't know how much access you have to your thing, but am I the only person that picked for my picks two of the three recent additions to the roster?
Let's go ahead and take a look here as I acknowledge everybody here, not only in the chat, but of course everybody involved in simply predicting here. Let's take a look at the overall poll of votes towards who people believe should be Miss Money in the Bank.
I think I picked Roxanne and Stephanie.
Okay, if you did that too, then me and you are the same. But I know a lot of people picked Roxanne. I'm not sure how many people picked Stephanie. I know pretty much nobody was picking Giulia. But I'm curious how many people had two. Both their picks were of the three recent call-ups.
Well, we got 3 people with Giulia, 11 with Roxanne Perez, and we got 3 people with Cena Vaquer, and 28 people with Naomi as their primary. It looks like more so what you're talking about is secondary, pretty much split amongst those 4. Secondary 12, Roxanne Perez, 12, Rhea Ripley, 12, Cena Vaquer, 11 for Naomi. And we are live inside the Intimate Dome with those 2 billion lights flashing. Welcome, everybody, to Money in the Bank. This is going to be fun. Get ready for a human car wreck, a beautiful disaster. As we go down to Alicia Taylor for our first measure introductions, as we look at Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, and of course, Pat McAfee, probably the most hated man in Canada. But that's a whole different conversation and story for another day. Again, Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, Stat Boy Mike taking in the activities, and of course, Noah Foster. We're on the call here with you guys here, taking in Money in the Bank. Hope you all enjoy the reactions, the conversation, and the coverage. Again, if you want to dictate the conversation, PayPal, the pages, or Super Chat, simple as that. And we always talk about, Jada, the women have a 100% success rate. And of course, on the Spanish announce table, I guess Standard Occur is not the only working double duty. As we got Marcelo Rodriguez once again, this time with Jerry Soto. Oh boy, it's going to be fun. Shout out to Natilla, by the way, that only took in Worlds Collab, but is also there at Money in the Bank as we speak. Follow her when it's wrestling time at Ranges of Wrestling. All right, let's see what kick things off here. Alicia Taylor, take it away. Oh, shit. I called it.
Bullshit. This should be the main event.
I agree.
Or at least semi-main event. There's no reason to do this match this early. Complete and utter disrespect to the women in this match.
I mean, to be fair, that's WWE trope. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's the 10th Women's Money in the Bank ladder match in WWE history. And as I said earlier, Stat Boy, as you can approve, the women have 100% successful cash-in rates.
And that trend is going to continue. Why screw that up? Especially if one of the new 3 get it. It's like JJ said, if they get this and they decide to hold on to it for a while, the 100% will stay in play. If a newbie comes in and ruins that percentage rate, they just toss it out the window.
And how fitting we start with the only person in this match that won the briefcase. Go ahead, JJ.
To Mike's point, the only reason I would see an unsuccessful cash-in is if an established person wins the briefcase. You know, if Naomi wins the briefcase, I could see Jade screwing up her cash-in. If Mommy wins the briefcase, I could see Liv or somebody screwing up her cash-in. If Alexa wins the briefcase, I'm not sure who would screw up her cash-in.
Charlotte Flair.
Maybe Charlotte, but I would only be able to see unsuccessful if one of the established women win.
They put the Cash App logo on the briefcase? God, Talk about product placement.
This is TKO. This is not the WWE as you used to know it. And here comes the prodigy, Roxanne Perez, your top pick and former NXT Women's Champion. Of course, Alexa Bliss, going into her 4th Money in the Bank ladder match, is the only woman across this field to not only win it, but successfully cash it in on the same night against the Fridge Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, becoming the Raw Women's Championship.
And the only
Shout out to DJ for the Fridge nickname.
The only reason I can see that the ladies going first is ladies first. I mean, let them set the bar and tell the men to top that, which they won't. The ladies are gonna set the bar so high tonight, and I'm saying this. You can clip this. The ladies are gonna put on a show.
Well, again, Roxanne Perez has been put on a show. She's been involved in WWE, of course, literally owning every accolade in NXT. She's already been involved this year alone in the Royal Rumble, making it to the final two and lose to Charlotte Flair. She was involved in the Elimination Chamber, now officially signed to Monday Night Raw, and finds herself in her first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. See if Roxanne Perez can change her fortunes and destiny here on Monday Night Raw and maybe go after Io Sky once again on her terms.
She's on the short side, isn't she, Roxanne?
Yeah, she's one of the shortest athletes, I believe, in WWE, JJ.
Yeah, I think her and Zelina are like neck and neck in height there.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss just barely towers over both of them. And of course, though, Alexa Bliss, she has literally the accomplishment over everyone else in this match.
Well, I hope you're ready to proceed with caution, as here comes the former glowist, Naomi.
We saw Naomi in last year's Money in the Bank ladder match, and she's no stranger to this environment, but with this newfound attitude, it very well could be her year this year. I also want to point out, in case people don't know, all 6 of these women qualify for this women's Money in the Bank ladder match through triple threat qualifiers. Naomi, a former 2-time women's world champion, in her 5th Money in the Bank match. And again, she has never won it. She was last year very close until Chelsea Green did Prettier on a ladder bridge that took Naomi completely out of the rest of the match.
And Naomi qualified, defeating the Fridge and Jade Cargill.
Yeah, we'll see if 5-time is the charm. Again, this newfound attitude, channeling her own version of Owen Hart. She's been on this personal vendetta towards Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair ever since coming back to WWE and from her injury, quote unquote, after she, of course, told Naomi it was her that attacked Jade Cargill, and Jade has made Naomi pay for it.
I'm getting a little bit of a Mercedes Moné vibe with her outfit.
Well, we'll see if she is as full of herself as Mercedes Moné, and if she's missed Money in the Bank, she has every right to be, but that remains to be seen.
All about the money.
Oh, who is that?
It's La Primera. Come on, you don't know who this is by now, Noah?
The fireballs threw me off, dude. You know I wait for the freaking horns to show up on the Titantron. This is also, might I add, her first premium live event entrance, not NXT. But to your point, there's your former FC Women's Champion, the Dark Angel, coming off a victory at Worlds Collide.
Actually, Noah, this is her second premium live event entrance, not NXT, as she was in the Women's Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah, she doesn't get nearly as much respect in her entrance or the freaking glitz, glamour, and the smoke and mirrors like here tonight, JJ, and you know that.
That may be, but it's still her second main roster PLE entrance.
Yeah, fair enough, but this is officially her first, now signed to Monday Night Raw after losing the IC Women's Championship to Jessie Jane.
And La Primera already victorious earlier today, as she and Lola Vice defeated Delise and Chic Tormenta at Worlds Collide in women's tag team action.
And she literally qualified for this match this past week on Monday Night Raw. So less than a week into her main roster career, she finds herself in her first Money in the Bank ladder match. Talk about the pressure on her and also all the height and potential.
Could she pull off possibly using Fallen Angel?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's called the Target of the Ring.
I don't know, maybe. And here comes the beautiful madness.
Yes.
Giulia.
Yes. You want to talk about someone I know 110% well. Talk about the former World of Stardom champion, NXT Women's Champion, beautiful madness herself, Giulia. And Giulia has so much history with La Primera, Stephanie Valkyria. Of course, we saw these two women make history in your NXT, JJ, at Roadblock, but it was Stephanie that got the better of beautiful madness that night.
Yes, sir. And pointed out earlier on the Worlds Collide stream, pointed out again here tonight during the Money in the Bank stream, you know, shows Statboy I've been doing my research. Excuse me. June 30th, 2024, La Primera walks into Forbidden Door, loses her New Japan Strong Women's Championship to the aforementioned Mercedes Moné. In less than a year, look at everything she's accomplished.
This is going to be so freaking good right here, right now. And there's only one more woman missing from this equation.
Mm-hmm.
Giulia
What a
seems to be a little on the short side, too.
And most of these women are like probably 5 foot, something. I imagine from the lower 5 feet, like 5 foot at 8 or something like that. But no, don't underestimate Giulia. And you want to talk about people not on the short side. Here's the tallest athlete in this match. We're going to bring her brutality to Money in the Bank. Oh boy. Mommy's home.
This is my brutality.
And look at that Jezebel counter. Brought to you by Xfinity.
Damn, she did the leg stomp and it jumped from like 94 to 105 noise level.
Booming, JJ, as Rhea Ripley, of course, lit up the Intuit Dome. Let's forget, at the beginning of the new era, the Netflix era, beating Liv Morgan for her then-held Women's World Heavyweight Championship for losing to Io Sky. Ever since Damian Priest went to SmackDown, Mommy's been on her own, rolling solo on Monday Night Raw, looking for a newfound direction and purpose as maybe Mommy in the Bank. She's done everything else in WWE. She's been a trailblazer, a leader. She's been a pioneer for this generation of women. Ever since being Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39 in this very city.
Quite possibly the perfect blend of Medusa Maselli, Beth Phoenix, and Chyna.
And about to say, despite all of her experience on the main roster, we got to keep this in mind, guys. This is her first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And her first ever ladder match in her career. I can't believe this woman has not been involved in a ladder match prior to this point. That's crazy.
Bad booking.
I don't think anyone's going to complain about seeing Rhea Ripley throw somebody on a ladder. I'm just saying.
Bell sounds for our opening contest, gentlemen, and here we go.
Well, again, guys, let's talk about strategy here. Who grabs the ladder first? Do you grab a ladder early, or do you wait to grab a ladder knowing that there's 5 other women looking for the same purpose tonight?
I think you wait.
I agree.
Down your opponent. You try to weaken your opponents before you go for a ladder. There we go.
Yeah, see what happens here.
Giulia, Alexa and Stephanie, Roxanne and Naomi, it looks like, turned off.
And that's
the 3 vets standing tall in the rain.
The heavy artillery right now with the people that have been here involved longer on the main roster than WWE, neutralizing the newcomers for now. Alexa Bliss, though, of course, again, the only woman to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Naomi in her 5th Money in the Bank ladder match. Rhea in her 1st. Baseball slide is Stephanie looking to bring a ladder into play. The only thing that limits you here is how much you risk your own well-being versus everyone else's. Vaquer probably still bruised up by the fact she wasn't heavily involved in that tag match earlier on Worlds Collide, JJ. We know she still is pulling double duty. Drop kick! Oh. And Rhea Ripley using Alexa as a weapon. And this is a unique face-to-face here. Little Miss Bliss and Mommy.
Ooh.
Alexa looking to go for the ladder. And here come Roxanne and Giulia. Roxanne and Giulia literally invaded Monday Night Raw, assaulting Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. And right now, Roxanne and Giulia looking for a ladder. And here's the rivalry from New Year's Evil, JJ. Whoa! Then remember the springboard cross body. Armringer, Soul Food, Eat Defeat. The swing and a miss, and La Primera right now has been impressed with the universe across all brands lately, not named SmackDown, driving the knees forward. Up and around with the Prodigy, looking for the Andrade takedown. Uh-oh, Stephanie might look at a hooker up, though. This early. Oh! Sending Vaquer with a modified version of Angel's wings into a lung blower.
Now La Primera has the ladder.
Yeah, high kick. I'm not sure how much Naomi got all of that, though. Of course, Naomi, former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, I believe. Oh! Face first with the drop goes Naomi, dropping Stephanie on the side of a ladder. And perhaps an opportunity now for Naomi to finally seize the prize again for the 5th time. This is the charm. Driving the ladder into the midsection of Rhea Ripley. Mommy. Of course, Mommy literally held that Women's Flyweight Championship for 1 full year. Oh, jeez! Rhea Ripley bounced off head first on the rungs of that ladder, JJ. That'll definitely take out the equation for the moment.
Definitely.
Again, there's not a whole lot of story to tell you folks when it comes to all 6 women involved here amongst themselves, but the stories that they have going for themselves is a whole different process. Of course, little Miss Bliss recently came back, hasn't been seen since the Elimination Chamber, and now finds herself in the Money in the Bank ladder match, looking to maybe form a friendship with Charlotte Flair. What do you think about that, JJ, with the 4 rolling senton?
I'm a little bit behind you. I'm trying to get caught up here.
Okay, no worries. Just let me know where you guys are at as she throws Naomi to the outside here. I'll just talk a little bit. Of course, we've seen her, of all people, to try and form a friendship with Charlotte Flair, Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. I'm not sure what she's trying to instigate with that. Of course, Charlotte Flair no longer part of this equation either. Fell into qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
I got Giulia setting up a ladder in the corner here now.
Oh. I'll probably have that here in a moment, as I may have paused here a little long. It's all good here. And Giulia right now sees in the ladder. What is she looking to do with it here? Now hoisting it up. Of course, Giulia, one of the strongest female pairs you will see, straight from Stardom. Put the ladder up in the corner, like so, and adjusting it. And what is Giulia thinking here to do with that? As I said, former World of Stardom champion, Enter Strong Women's champion, Goddess of Stardom and Artist of Stardom champion, the trios and tag titles. Sidestep, Middle Miss Blitz, face first into the ladder. Oh, no. Oh! Everyone good now? I see you all trying to figure out if everyone good? Everyone good? Everyone chat? You on the team? What's up, JJ?
I think so. Giulia now, knee strike to Stephanie Vaquer.
Yep.
Vicious knee strike.
Sending Stephanie to the outside here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the expectations of all 6 of these women, they know the stakes are not going to get higher than this right now, especially for the newest signings to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown.
Mikey, how familiar are you with the beautiful madness that is Giulia?
This is my first official match of watching her.
Oh, sweet Jesus. You need to start watching NXT, bruv.
Or Stardom.
Well, Stardom may be a little bit harder for him to get, but if he's watching WWE PLEs, he's got Peacock. He can watch NXT.
You can also watch Stardom on YouTube and look at Giulia versus Nakano, or Siri, or Hersuki, or Mayu Iwatani. Good God. I do want this one-on-one, though. We saw the unique face-to-face that Mommy had with Giulia when Giulia first arrived on Monday Night Raw, attacking Io Sky, that, of course, Rhea Ripley respected. Let's not forget, Rhea and Io got a tag win over Giulia and Roxanne Perez. That pretty much dissolved their tag team and sent Giulia to SmackDown.
Speaking of Roxanne getting drugged in by Rhea Ripley, holding a ladder. Nice shining wizard there, drops Roxanne Perez.
Lateral war.
Cazadora dropped across the ladder. First.
That's going to hurt.
And Mommy unleashing her brutality that she's done ever since becoming the Eradicator of Monday Night Raw. And Rhea Ripley could literally just dump anybody here on a ladder anytime she wants. She could just literally just handle everybody here so easily. You're talking about the height differential, talking about the strength differential.
Well, yeah, I mean, to your point, Rhea Ripley is a dominator. She can woman handle literally just about anybody on the roster. The only woman who might, and I stress, might give her a problem is the refrigerator, Nia Jax.
I was going to say Jordan Grace, but that's a whole different conversation.
Look out.
Oh, no. And oh, my God, what a counter by Roxanne.
Interesting.
Prodigy for a reason.
And now Roxanne looking for something big on the corner. Second row bounce across Rhea on the ladder. Good grief. Throwing life and limb on the line in her first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. We talked about the brilliance and the prodigy for a reason. There's a reason why she's called that. It's not just a nickname, folks. Former Ring of Honor
Cody
champion.
there as Roxanne sets up the ladder center of the ring.
Yeah, about to say, though, the disadvantage for Roxanne, she probably has to climb the entire thing of that ladder to get that briefcase.
First one to go up is
Bliss,
probably
oof. Rips her off the ladder. Now Alexa Bliss, we're going to miss. Oh, I ran so right by Giulia. And now Bliss taking to the outside again. And oh, well, this is an interesting face-to-face.
Hello. How are you?
Giulia and Roxanne Perez crossing paths for the first time since they were signed on the dotted line to opposite brands. Rhea Ripley playing defense here, and it looks like for one night only, there's something we haven't talked about, we might get a reunited alliance. Roxanne just literally unleashing her rage on Rhea Ripley here. Uh-oh.
Putting Mommy in the middle of this ladder here.
Looking to sandwich Rhea Ripley, unable to actually, I think they have it like stretched out. There it goes. They forgot to adjust the rungs. That's a little bit about that inexperience there, Jid, when it comes to handling these type of tools. As the ladder bounces off the ropes.
Yeah, it was supposed to land on the ladder that Rhea was sandwiched in, but it missed.
Well,
And it bounced.
That ladder's taller than the other ladder, for being perfectly honest here. But either way, Rhea Ripley is sandwiched in a ladder, and Roxanne and Giulia are continuing to use it to punish her. Right now, Roxanne and Giulia in control of the field. Eventually, one of these two got to realize one of them's got to go up and grab that briefcase if they're going to become Miss Money in the Bank. Again, it's every woman for themselves, but sometimes working together is a smart strategy. Neutralize one of the greater threats to you.
And honestly, there's no greater threat in this match than Rhea Ripley.
And it looks like Giulia and Roxanne are looking to bury Mommy, keep her at the bottom, underneath a plethora of ladders. Good grief. I know Mommy's strong, but that's a lot of steel to lift off you. Meanwhile, Naomi by herself.
Naomi.
Yeah. You talked about how much Naomi needs to win this, how much she needs to self-position for herself, Janet. She might do that. Wait a minute.
Stephanie Vaquer in.
Oof. And right now, Stephanie bringing Naomi back down. Naomi, though, with those almost Muay Thai knee strikes. Oof. Running shot by Stephanie, hooking up Naomi here in the corner. And Giulia, though, sidestep by Stephanie, though. Roxanne now, headbutt. And Stephanie's taking advantage of the entire field here.
Except
Now,
for Alexa Bliss. Where's Miss Bliss?
Yeah, I'm about to say she was taken out, I believe, earlier, and she hasn't come back into play yet. Uh-oh. Now hooking up. Oh, no. God, a dragon screw leg whip. Damn, that move has to stop.
It does.
Golly. And Stephanie now hooking up Roxanne. What they're looking for here. Both of them in job position. A German suplex. Good grief. Those ligaments and tendons in your legs are not supposed to be torn apart that way, and your neck's not supposed to go that way. Now Stephanie might be looking to seize the briefcase, climbing the ladder. Can you grab that contract? Giulia picking the ankle of La Primera. Modified ground octopus. Or Cobra twist, whatever you like to call it. Stephanie, though. Stephanie climbing with Giulia? What? That's amazing.
Showing the drive, the determination, the strength of La Primera.
She's carrying all of Giulia's weight on her back when she's tied up in her, and Giulia forced to let go of the hold. And again, right now, Stephanie, though, hoisted up by Giulia. Nowhere to go but down.
Gorgeous German suplex there from Giulia.
And delayed deadlift German suplex, to your point, brother.
Now Giulia looking up at the prize, the briefcase there.
Well, again, we know Giulia has her eyes set on Selena Vega's WWE Women's United States Championship. It looks like clearly she's more focused on this though tonight than the Women's Money in the Bank. Now Naomi right now, somehow staying on her own 2 feet regardless of that dragon screw. Now trapping Giulia into that ladder. Naomi might be looking to climb over Giulia here, and there might not be a damn thing Giulia can do about it. What the hell? Giulia right now. Oh! Down around the back of her head and neck with the spider German suplex. And there's Lumen's Bliss to your point, JJ.
Nice drop kick helps to free Giulia.
Well, again, Alexa Bliss now needs to not take in the moment. She needs to capitalize, climb the ladder, seize the briefcase. That's the problem here when people take a brief moment here to look at their handiwork. Now, Alexa Bliss looking to climb the ladder and seize the Money in the Bank briefcase for the second time. I don't believe there's been a two-time winner yet of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
I believe you're correct. Mikey, could you confirm?
Give me it again.
Yeah, I don't believe there's been a two-time women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner.
You're correct.
That's what I thought. Of course, the very first winner, we don't talk about that train wreck. That was corrected on SmackDown, still not fully corrected. But either way, still 100% success rate for the women here at this 10th Money in the Bank ladder match. Could have another first-time winner. And again, Stephanie setting up another ladder right next to Roxanne and Lumen's Bliss. Naomi now meeting up, studying Vaquer. 3 women now towards the top of the ladder. Stephanie right now grabbing the ear of Naomi while Alexa Bliss picks the ankle. Ooh, backbreaker. Now Giulia trying to steal one here. And again, Mommy is nowhere to be found, being buried underneath that pile of steel. Now Bliss. Oh, man!
Nice powerbomb
by Elizabeth Bliss. Uh-oh. Oh, Bliss push the ladders off! Good thing that Roxanne and Giulia jumped off, avoiding certain disaster. Again, we expected this to be a human car wreck, a demolition derby, and so far it's holding up to that billing, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. What's Roxanne going for here? Throwing Bliss in the corner. Her and Giulia working the double teams again, trying to close up that ladder.
Well, yeah, we saw how well that worked out last time. Maybe they figured it out this time. Again, the inexperience of Giulia and Roxanne is clearly showing here in this environment. Uh-oh. This doesn't look good. And Bliss hoists it up and drops! Short first on the side of a ladder. Oh. Well, that might take her out of the equation for a while.
Yes, the first women's Money in the Bank was a disaster, so you're right about that one.
No, I know I'm right about that one. No one's going to argue me about that. Again,
it's a technicality, it's a loophole moment, but you could say it's 50-50 on that one.
Well, either way, I say it's 50-50 right now, whether Giulia or Roxanne's going to win this thing, as Roxanne again just turned on Giulia here and unleashing her rage against Beautiful Madness. Now that these two are left alone here in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Best opportunity for them. And Giulia sidesteps, sends Roxanne up and over. Not the Royal Rumble, though. Right now, Roxanne and
Mommy is rising like a phoenix.
JJ, this is the moment that Roxanne Perez, I think, officially fucked up.
Yep. Trying to skin the cat, but Mommy grabs her leg, throws her into the barricade.
Is there anything worse in WWE than an angry mommy?
A pissed off mommy? Nope.
What? The jury's out. What's more vengeful? Oh boy. Beautiful Madness versus Brutality. Give me that. Rhea Ripley unloading here. Short range clotheslines to Giulia. Swinging a miss, and right now, Ripcord. Oh, nice hook kick. Oh, the power of Rhea dropping Giulia face first.
I could have answered that no, but I would have pissed off a whole race of people. Not worth it.
Wow,
Super kick drops Naomi, kick to the midsection of Roxanne, gut wrench.
Oh, man.
Gut wrench into the razor's edge, throwing Roxanne into Naomi.
Oh, shout out to the bad guy who knows how to climb a ladder. And look at the eyes. The eyes tell the story, JJ. Mommy knows what she wants. Badly crowd expected here tonight at the Intuit Dome with Mommy Rhea Ripley setting up a ladder bridge. Bridge over troubled water. Nowhere near the Money in the Bank briefcase, though. Again, unleashing her brutality, hoisting up Giulia, dropped across the ladder bridge, face first in an electric chair position. And again, we have Ripley looking up towards what could be her next destiny to get back on top of Monday Night Raw. And look at the size of that ladder. Well, law of the ring.
It's the Jeff Hardy special.
Why do you say that knowing we have a bunch of women inexperienced on that freaking thing, JJ?
Because it's true. The first time we saw the 20-foot ladder was Jeff Hardy.
Fair enough. Oh boy, this is not going to end well, I fear, for somebody. But look how close that ladder is to that briefcase. And now Rhea Ripley making the ascent, but there's standing Vaquer once again. Massive headbutt.
As said in the Star Wars universe, I got a bad feeling about this.
Again, that'd be a dream match for me, though. Standing Vaquer and Rhea Ripley for the Women's Heavyweight Championship. Yes, please. Put that evolution. Dream matches, big what ifs, possible situations here, all at the glimpse of that candle. And right now, Rhea Ripley creating what looks like an erector set. Trying to add more stability, I think, to that ladder and walking underneath it. I guess Rhea Ripley's not superstitious. Did she just literally, what's the word I'm looking for? Did she just literally cost herself this? Self-karma.
Well, if you think about it, Noah, WrestleMania 10, Razor Ramon walked under the ladder and won the match.
Fair enough. Right now, looking for
around the ladder and lost. So
right now, standing back here trying to fight out of this, and if looking for Ripley for a ladder, are you fucking kidding me?
The devil's kiss on the ladder.
What?
Do it! Yes! Yes! Yes!
No! Damn it! Shoot! Devil's kiss on a ladder bridge. Damn it, JJ! You and Booker T are fucking idiots.
I didn't think that was going to work. I thought it was going to break.
I thought the ladder was going to drop out from underneath them, so Stephanie is lucky that gravity was her saving grace. As he climbs the ladder now, and Stephanie might be on a pose. We might get La Primera in the back, but here comes Roxanne Perez shortly from behind. All she has to do is unhook the briefcase. And Roxanne Perez just in the nick of time. And much to the audience's chagrin as you hear the subtle boos raining out of the Intuit Dome. JJ had his freaking moment so far, damn it. And right now,
yeah.
And Roxanne and Stephanie, and Stephanie sent face first to the ladder. Now look at Little Miss Bliss on the opposite side. They become the first time, two-time Women's Money in the Bank participant. Roxanne and Little Miss Bliss, though, face to face at the top of that ladder. Watch Naomi, though, coming in from underneath. And now Naomi pulling down Alexa Bliss once again. And watch Stephanie in the background walk the ladder bridge. Now she goes after Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne dragged back down. And again, Stephanie and Roxanne, dangerous territory here. Oh boy. Fisherman hook of the leg, possibly a fisherman buster on that ladder bridge. Stephanie and Roxanne fighting back for everything she's worth. Back elbow strike, and now Naomi trying to make that ladder more stable. And Alexa here and Naomi fighting on the opposite side, while Stephanie and Roxanne are still fighting for position on the other side. How many bodies are about to crash and burn here? Anyone want to take a number or a guess?
2.
All of them.
So right now, we got Roxanne, Stephanie on the left, Alexa Bliss, Naomi on the right. We got 2 ladders suspended between the largest ladder in this match, giving it locked in the center. And Alexa Bliss again trying to make the climb by Roxanne, takes her eyes off of the opposite side, focuses on Stephanie here. Oh boy, what on earth are these women thinking? There's stark intentions on Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez's mind. Hooking up Stephanie and Naomi. Oh my
Stereo
God.
Pop Rocks.
Code Red, Pop Rocks, and stereo on the ladder bridges. Everybody's down. Take a look at the replay here. Who the fuck got the worst of that? Golly.
Naomi and Stephanie?
Look who's stirring in the ring.
Sliding in, trying to capitalize on the fallen bodies, Noah.
Yeah, I'm about to say she was the only one not involved in that equation, not named Rhea Ripley. 17,000 plus change. This is awesome, and I agree. As again, this should have been the main event, but it is what it is. WWE booking, TKO booking. Talk more about that later. Oh wait, that's right. I signed a freaking NDA. Fuck. Anyway, Giulia right now literally readjusting the ladder, removing the ladders that held it in place. What is she thinking here? Now turning it literally hard cam way. Ladder perfectly right underneath that briefcase. Nobody right now is standing to oppose Giulia here. Bliss is down, Naomi down, Stephanie's down, Roxanne's down, and Rhea Ripley's nowhere to be found. And now Giulia might be a few steps away from seeing the Money in the Bank briefcase, but Roxanne trying to climb up on the other side. Can she meet her there in time? Roxanne's there and stops Giulia just from unclipping that briefcase. How hard is it to unclip a damn briefcase from a freaking keychain? Whatever the hell you call that thing. That's a 40-foot ladder for those that are wondering, standing over 15 feet above the top rope of the ring from the drone camera right here.
Come on, Roxy.
And Giulia, of course, on SmackDown. Roxanne, Perez on Raw. These two women invaded the main roster together. Now they literally might be here to end each other's chance of becoming Miss Money in the Bank, grabbing the braids of Giulia as Roxanne Perez has licks of Bliss. How the hell is Bliss walking? Pulls Roxanne down off the ladder. Uh-oh! And Rhea Ripley back into play. Rhea Ripley dragging Giulia back down from the ladder.
That drone camera guy's got a good job.
And Rhea Ripley and Rox. Wait a minute. What's this? Rhea. Riptide! Sister Abigail in stereo! Down goes Roxanne and Giulia. The two most twisted individuals in this match now locking eyes. It's a hell of a fight here for the women's Money in the Bank ladder briefcase. I will say that. Not nearly as a car wreck as last year's, but definitely up there when it comes to the quality of time to deserve it. It looks like Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley know exactly what stands in front of them. Now both women fighting for the ladder. Once again, readjusting its position here. And look at this, Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley climbing the ladder here, JJ. I'm sorry that your NXT people might not win here tonight.
Naomi back in there.
Oh, wait, shit.
No.
And notice how Naomi's at the bottom trying to push that ladder up. And Rhea and Bliss go through the suspended ladder bridge. Naomi with a chance here. There's nobody to oppose her. And Naomi is truly pursuing caution. She better rip the tape off and climb like there's no tomorrow. There's nobody to oppose her. No Roxanne, no Bliss, no Giulia, no Stephanie, no Rhea. Naomi is climbing the ladder. Naomi is there at the summit. Sees the briefcase. Become what you want. Naomi's done. Naomi's Miss Money in the Bank. Whoa.
Wow.
We talked about it earlier, how hell-bent Naomi was to prove a point about herself this year. Now Naomi controls her destiny. Naomi is the 10th Miss Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton, Io Sky, beware. Something not amazing, but with caution and dangerous intentions is coming your way anytime she wants. There's so much happened during this ladder match, Jada. You could talk about again what you saw here. Good Lord.
We saw the double code red pop rocks. We just saw the Riptide Sister Abigail in stereo. Both women going teetered off the ladder as Naomi then grabbed it to set it up, ascended, and grabbed the briefcase.
Fifth time was the charm for Naomi at last. Let's see what Naomi will do with that power that 9 other women before her have successfully used to their own advantage. Long overdue, some would say, for Naomi. Still a tremendous ladder match brought by all the participants here. Everyone else looking up and disappointed. Of course, Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez and Giulia and Valkyria and Alexa Bliss will have to figure out a different way towards their championship chances. It's one of those things we talk about, JJ. In this business, all you need is an attitude adjustment to find newfound success. Naomi just proved that. Oof. All right. I got a full commercial now, so I'm going to be a good person. I promise. I hold up my agreement. But when the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, all bets are fucking off. All right. Let's go ahead and give one's initial thoughts regarding, again, the result and performances and key moments. JJ, I'll start with you. You were kind of pointing out a half and half. What do you think now that Naomi has officially grabbed it? Especially with the fact she made it so personal with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and Bianca is now nowhere to be involved in the championship mix.
I still don't think Naomi needed it. Like, I get to a certain extent why they gave it to her, but now if the men's briefcase ends up going to like Seth, I'm going to be pissed because it's two experienced veterans with the briefcase. Money in the Bank is supposed to be to give up-and-comers an opportunity to make superstars.
Yeah.
Not to give people that have been in the company for 15 years, that are multi-time champions, opportunities to get more titles. I'm sorry, but that's not what the Money in the Bank is for.
Fair point. Stepway, anything you want to add regarding the result in that Money in the Bank ladder match?
Great minds think alike. I agree with my brother. I mean, the most, the only thing I can add to it is now, you know, Alexa had a win over Naomi. Now Naomi has a win over Alexa in a Money in the Bank ladder match. So there you go. And now, like I don't see. I see it becoming an unsuccessful cash-in. I'm sorry. I'm glad she won. Okay, she won. She got it. But it's like JJ says, it's not necessary. I can't see Naomi as a champion right now. I mean, I don't see her going after Io. I don't see her going after Tiffany right now. So she'll hold on to it for a bit, I would think. But I think they failed big time on this one. They failed, man.
It's one of those things where, again, I was holding out for Rhea Ripley or Valkyria because I do think you look at the experience and I do think you look at the potential. I also looked at Roxanne Perez and Giulia, but since Giulia is focusing on the United States Championship now, she has a direction towards the championship. Roxanne may have a story. She don't have a direction for a championship. I already told you my two picks, and I fessed up and I own them. I picked Roxanne Perez. I picked Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately, I was wrong, and Naomi did win Money in the Bank, but you can't argue this newfound attitude led to Naomi getting victory. She was going to stop at nothing because, again, she has been the third wheel. She's been the afterthought. You said yourself at WrestleMania you thought that Io Sky would be the afterthought, and Io Sky is the champion. Now Naomi has a chance to make you and everyone else eat crow now anytime she wants for the next year. Well, anyways, we're back inside Money in the Bank. There you see the still reigning and defending AAA Mega Champion, El Hijo del Vikingo, taking in tonight's activities after surviving Chad Gable, and also the person that impressed you the most, JJ, Mr. Iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Great call, guys and family, by the way. I know I popped in some comments in there, and great job by Mr. Reliable and the Dominguez's going in Spanish. That was amazing. That was fun to watch. I checked in on both of you guys.
And kudos to Conan and Cycle Clown and the Blue. Damn, I'm losing the names. So it's freaking losing my mind here. Too many people. Well, again, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, but it does make me wonder, going back to what I heard about Triple H. Was this the last Money in the Bank match as we know it, or Money in the Bank PLE? Is the Money in the Bank concept, is the Money in the Bank gimmick even necessary now? I don't know if you have that as a topic for shenanigans. And please stay tuned. Plus, a little side note, Michael Cole's not the only one that can promote. After tonight's event, if you're not watching the House of Glory, watching Lynch coverage, please stay tuned for the Saturday Shenanigans hosted. He's back in the seat, thank Christ. The Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. I'm glad to step up, and there's a reason I only do that one time a year. Speaking of stepping up, we saw somebody step up earlier today at Worlds Collide against Dominic Mysterio, who insulted all of AAA and Rey Mysterio. And Octagon Jr. confronted the WWE Intercontinental Champion, so much so, Dominic Mysterio is putting his money where his mouth is and defending that title tonight.
That's his job, to get heat, to piss people off.
And to Stat Boy's point, Mikey, if you want to continue for him while he froze, that's a great screenshot.
Is a deadbeat card. He's going to beat that card into the ground. We know it. That he's the number one guy when it comes to it's like Ric Flair said about Roddy Piper. It's his job to make people mad. I just hope nobody is dumb enough to bring a knife to a show, because I don't want to see that happen again.
Well, I mean, we are in California. That's a legitimate conversation. But to his point, Stat Boy, to Stat Boy's point, JJ, this is your boy that you endorsed the Worker of the Year for the past year. And 2 months ago, he finally got the work done in a moment that was long overdue for him and won the Intercontinental Championship. Now, since then, the jury's been out of what he's done with it. But now he's taking on somebody from AAA tonight, Octagon Jr. So, again, what does that really say about Dominic Mysterio when it comes to not only the work ethic, but the value he's trying to put into the WWE Intercontinental Championship?
I mean, Dominic is a workhorse. And we never thought we would say that years ago when we were watching him team with his dad. We all said that he was a Nepo baby, that he didn't deserve to be here, that he should have been in NXT, that he needed seasoning, blah, blah, blah. He was only getting shit because he was a Mysterio. And he's kind of silenced everybody to the point where when he won the IC title, the fans cheered for him. Now, he's gotten some of his heat back since then, but we're in Southern California. You know, granted, we're in LA, not San Diego, but we're in Dom's home. I wonder how much heat he's actually going to get coming out, or if he's going to get a babyface reactions. The hometown hero, essentially, you know?
Well, that remains to be seen, but we know one person that will be booed out of the building while another one will be cheered beyond all belief, or should I say yeeted, as it looks like they're hyping up that tag match right now with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus John Cena and Logan Paul. While originally, and I stand by this, Crime Against Pro Wrestling, it was supposed to be Jey Uso versus Gunther tonight at Money in the Bank for the World Heavyweight Championship. A World Championship defendant Money in the Bank. What a fucking concept. Instead, it's been pushed to Monday Night Raw, but Gunther has definitely made this quite personal, as he has said he will stop at nothing to rectify the past of what happened. Damn it. To rectify the past of what happened at WrestleMania when Gunther tapped out. And of course, we welcome in the World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso.
Brother Renegade, where is that really cool El Renegado de Lucha Libre? Why didn't he show up? Where was he at?
Oh, fucking hell.
I have no idea. I don't keep tabs of him.
You've got him on speed dial, bro. I mean, come on. It would have been perfect for him to make an appearance. I was looking forward to that.
I don't know. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he was at the show. Did you ever think of that?
My brain. I can't take that.
Yeah, you know, hey, someone's got to be the annoying little brother.
Anyway, tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw, we're not covering it. World Heavyweight Championship, not tomorrow night, Monday night. Watch, whatever. I'm fucking already pissed off as it is. That Angel Gunther gets a contractually obligated rematch against main event Jey Uso, as we know it right now, on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Jey Uso defends the World Heavyweight title against Gunther. I'm gonna lose my mind. It's all right. Fine. Freaking fine. Let's go ahead and move on back inside the Intuit Dome for our Intercontinental Championship match. You just love this. You just freaking love this, don't you? You just freaking love this, don't you? You son of a...
Tranquilo.
I'm freaking fine. And here comes Don Mysterio with Liv Morgan. Blech.
With a black mask? Interesting.
Would you expect anything less? Did the white mask at freaking WrestleMania? Did a black mask tonight? Anyway. And of course, Liv Morgan still one half of the absolute most relevant titles in WWE, the Women's WWE Tag Team Championships.
What's more irrelevant, Noah? The women's tag titles or the speed titles?
Speed, because it's on X. And I don't know how you make somebody in 3 minutes. Talk about 50 minutes of fame. We're just going to cut that in half, but I'm going to cut that by 80%. Again, why was Don Mysterio at Triple A? All he was going to do was insult and instigate everybody. The show wasn't even about him to begin with.
He was there to provoke so that he could get a match. You got to figure WWE heard people bitching that there were only 4 matches. Triple H era traditionally has 5. That's his sweet spot. So what better way to get a 5th match on the card? Have Dominic Mysterio insult luchas, get a luchador from the Worlds Collide show, challenge him for the IC title.
Okay, you could have just simply showed up tonight and just given an open challenge, or actually convinced Pierce that you matter, and maybe he would have booked you for the show. Anyway, WWE Money in the Bank brought to you by Insert Promotion here. We're brought to you, of course, by Sikoa Studios. We cover all the biggest shows across all things professional wrestling. I think it goes to the merit of a competitor when someone actually steps up towards you, or you step up towards them the right way. Anyway, here comes Octagon Jr. of AAA. Feels that no luchas on planet Earth is on his level. Well, we'll see if he backs up that claim tonight against Octagon Jr., a man that you already talked about verbatim when it comes to his family legacy, JJ. And of course, as I talked about, Octagon Jr. has been in TNA, teaming alongside Laredo Kid as the Aztec Warriors. And of course, the AAA contingency are watching on also at ringside. This is more than just AAA versus WWE. This is Lucha Libre versus that disrespectful brat, Dominic Mysterio.
Tell us how you really feel about him there, brother.
Don't push me to that level. I've already put it up.
Don't instigate, Mikey. Don't.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
He gets one time to rant.
One time.
This is not it.
Fair enough.
You wait. I'm gonna fucking rant that. You just fucking wait. Anyway, Octagon Jr. Dom Mysterio, first time ever one-on-one matchup. This is for, of course, the Workhorse Championship, going all the way back to the very first champion, Pat Patterson. This is the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Well, we've already had one title change companies. Why not do another one?
Well, again, thanks to Flop Dollar, that might not change anytime soon. Whoa! And early going here, swinging a miss by Dominic Mysterio into the midsection. Octagon Jr., of course, heavily known, as I said, out of AAA. Nice springboard corkscrew there. And again, Octagon Jr. looking to impress everybody here tonight in the Intuit Dome like he did in the fabulous forum during our watch-along, JJ. Taking Dominic Mysterio up and over. Of course, champion's advantage, title control in his hands via pinfall submission inside the ring. Whoa, my! Springboard moonsault takes Dominic Mysterio down. Not giving Dominic Mysterio a moment to breathe, and you gotta watch that Jezebel Liv Morgan on the outside as well. Take a look at the replay here. Flawless, picture-perfect moonsault. Oh, man. Dominic Mysterio, of course, has to take the spotlight away from Rey Mysterio, who is just there to endorse Lucha Libre and that special Worlds Collide. And now looking to use Octagon Jr.'s mask for his own advantage, tying him up in the ring rope. But that just allowed Dominic Mysterio to just further exerts his will on him. It's a very mixed reaction to your point, JJ, it sounds like so far for Dominic Mysterio. Oh, nice. They actually did do an official graphic. Good on you. I knew you were going to do the background.
Yeah, I just noticed it posted on X. That's why I've been quiet, because I grabbed it and did it.
Just making sure that you get your word in and you also always do the work as you always do. Again, you and Walter Cruz, reliable renegade for life.
And
That's a pretty good tag team there, the Reliable Renegades.
Yeah, there you go. They get that on a shirt.
Or the Renegade of Reliability. Which one? To the people out there listening, what do you like better? The Reliable Renegades or the Renegades of Reliability? Let me know in the chat.
Why is it that every time I say something, it's either used against me or used in marketing? It's ridiculous.
It's genius.
You guys are simply reliable. So me and Walter need something, right? I mean, come on.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. Oh! Dominic Mysterio face for top turnbuckle, eats and ends and girls. Octagon Jr. looking to take advantage. Octagon Jr. former AAA Latin American champion back in 2024 for 357 days. Former AAA World Trios champion with El Hijo del Vikingo and Mysterio Jr. as Los Gigantes de Ea. And Octagon Jr. with a beautiful modified Beta Bomb with a twist and a kick out at 2 by Dominic Mysterio. And of course, as I talked about before, previously involved in AAA, I believe, since 2017, also known as the Golden Magic. And now, oh, God bless it.
Oh, here we go.
And Dom Mysterio looking to channel Eddie Guerrero, who's been celebrated here so much tonight.
I knew there was a reason I grabbed this shirt.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I freaking came out dressed for the occasion.
Thank you.
Oh! Great move by Dom Mysterio. As much as I hate to give the young man credit, gets a 2 count off that modified Michinoku driver. Dom Mysterio right now readjusting the pace of this match in his favor. Drop kick to the back. You gotta be kidding me.
Dial it up.
Well, you all know your area code out there in California.
Yeah, what? 562.
LA is 310.
Well, either way.
213.
Well, either way,
don't tell me you've been out of California that long, Mikey.
Hey, I still have my 562 area code. I never gave that up.
Cover. 2 count.
Long Beach till I die.
Okay, but that's Long Beach, not LA. There is a difference.
Oh, man. That's a difference right there. That's swinging fisherman's net breaker. And right
You're
now,
in Sevierville, right?
Yeah, he's not going to show up in the 865 anytime soon.
Okay, but that would be like saying Sevierville is Nashville.
It's Knoxville.
That's my point.
Okay, good point. Take
Long Beach is not LA.
Yes, it
may be LA County, but it's not Los Angeles. There's a difference.
Tiger fake
310 connected by Dom as he goes up for the frog splash.
On the back of Octagon Jr. Shoots the half cover. 2 Dominic retains.
That's it? Really?
In fairness, it was a last-minute addition throwaway match.
And it was an
It wasn't going to be long.
Yeah, all Dominic Mysterio wanted to do was embarrass AAA and Lucha Libre tonight from celebration to absolute devastation. Courtesy of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan.
He got his wish.
Yeah, clearly. Dominic Mysterio still Intercontinental champion after a great effort by Octagon Jr. here tonight. Great showcasing by the AAA talent here at Money in the Bank. Thanks to Liv Morgan's distraction off that swinging fisherman's net breaker, though, Octagon Jr. set up for the Tiger Fink kick and Dominic capitalized. Fucking Jezebel. This just proves that women ruin everything.
Ouch.
Well, certain women, not all women are bad.
Thank you.
Well, look, Jeff has said it for years. Women screw up the Hakuna Matata. Simba was out there living his best life with Timon and Pumbaa until Nala showed up and pulled him back into the Pride Lands.
Disney and WWE in the same sentence, the bane of my existence, and yet it's still very accurate. Dominic Mysterio still Intercontinental champion. Thank Octagon Jr. though for standing up for all of Lucha Libre and AAA. And we go backstage with Chad Gable after a losing effort to El Hijo del Vikingo with American Made, the Creed brothers. Oh, you fucking kidding me. I'm going to rant so much during
Hush.
that match. You know, I could walk away from here for right now. I don't have to be here when there's not a match on the screen. You know that, right? I'm just saying. I've never walked off before, but don't think I won't tonight. I'm serious.
Don't go, Noah. Don't go.
Look at that fucking thing. Anyway.
Product placement on the ladder. Shame.
Of course. I mean, and the fact that Brutus was like, what is Fireball? It's cinnamon whiskey. It's like, dude, that's my drink of choice. So I can't be mad.
Yeah, of course, you and Josh can't be mad. Good grief. Anyway, another commercial break here, folks. So, again, that was the WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Why you didn't add a World Championship match, I have no idea. Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky aren't doing anything. So, there you go. Well, how's everyone feeling so far this weekend? And to those that get into the Worlds Collide, thanks for our coverage. As Julia pointed out, we're covering House of Glory. He's back in the hot seat hosting the Saturday Shenanigans. We got GCW on the horizon and so much more to come forward here at 2. And of course, stay tuned with me and Walter. We once again venturing back in AEW with Summer Blockbuster, Grand Slam as we continue our road to All In. That and so much more here at the Super Reliable Studios. As of course, this July, fireworks will be ablaze when WWE takes over, to your point, JJ, the hometown of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, in Atlanta, Georgia, for not only NXT Great American Bash and Saturday's main event, but the second ever all-women WWE PLE special, Evolution. And of course, that'll be Saturday and Sunday, folks, July 12th and July 13th. And somehow, we'll be covering all of that here at the Cinema Studios.
As well as All In.
Yes! But again, it's going to be a wild-ass weekend, and I will not have a voice come after that. So there you go.
Wow.
That's a hard note, but also I didn't want to think about that. But you know what? I'll give you a bone. You're not wrong.
I did briefly hear about that.
Mike, can you please stop talking over me?
Sorry.
Safed, we usually don't draw attention to shit like stalkers on the channel. We don't want to give them the time of day. So please refrain from posting about that stuff. Thank you. Now, you were saying, Mike?
Oh, I was saying I briefly heard about that story, and just goes to show that there are bad fans out there.
Well, duh. Have you never been at Staples Center and watched fans run up to superstars' cars?
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, not doing it again.
Okay, so you know there's bad fans out there.
You also know there's bad wildfires out there. Oh,
What's
man.
that, Noah?
You also know there's bad wildfires out there. As of course, WWE talks about how they give back to the community and helping the community out there. It looks at the Thomas family that are suffering from devastation. They are there taking that money in the bank. Again, WWE giving back to the community. As we hope we're giving you guys something worthwhile tonight here with our coverage of Money in the Bank. Well, let's go ahead and get serious once again, shall we, to a real workhorse woman. As Lyra Vaquer looks to put the man in her place once and for all. A battle of humility versus championship glory. Lyra Vaquer and Becky Lynch 2 for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Can Becky Lynch make Lyra raise her hand, or will Lyra beat the man once again?
From one IC title match to the next. As you, I'm sure, are getting full-on promo package, and I'm on commercials.
Well, again,
I don't have a premium package, so
that's fine. You and I both can talk about this because we talked about verbatim. Again, JJ, how low, how far, how deep did Becky Lynch push Lyra Valkyria at Backlash to seize that championship to the point Lyra beat Becky while blinded? And of course, Becky Lynch assaulted Lyra post-match out of pure frustration, putting her into disarmor, while Lyra might have also suffered a broken nose in the process. The champion looking the worst for wear anything but a winner as the man left devastated and defeated.
It's like I said in the watch along. I mean, I got Lyra in this match. I don't see the reason to put the belt on Becky. I really don't. Great person, great character, great mom, all that good stuff. It's almost like they're just throwing away matches to get to the more important storylines.
I don't know if WWE actually
See, and I disagree with you, Seth Boy, because as I was telling Noah during the pre-show, that as much as I love Lyra, her title reign has been very lackluster until this last month and a half when Becky returned. It's been the reverse of what Chelsea Green did with the United States Championship, and Chelsea has already lost the title. Lyra, they've tried. They need to put some prestige on this championship. And if Becky is going to go into a feud, presumably with Bayley, who it is rumored, well, it's not rumored, but it was a bonus question from Aaron Rift. Does Bayley show up here tonight?
Freaking madman.
The title will be elevated by Becky and Bayley feuding over it. Do either of them need the title? No, they don't. You're absolutely right about that. So for that reason, Lyra should retain. But whenever the stipulation is thrown on there that if somebody loses, they can never challenge again, that person usually wins the title.
True.
So I think Becky's going to take it here and then elevate the title going into Evolution 2, Becky versus Bayley versus Lyra, and then going into the first ever two-night SummerSlam, probably Becky versus Bayley one-on-one. You've also got Night of Champions coming in Saudi. You put this title on that pay-per-view, PLE, because it's a championship match. You got Becky versus Bayley in Saudi. Huge women drawing huge numbers in a country that only recently started giving women their due. You got to look at the bigger picture here, and Becky is part of that bigger picture.
Well, we'll find out if you're right tonight.
Are you paying attention, Paul? Are you paying attention to this guy? Hire this man, please.
At ROWJJ@gmail.com.
All right.
Bring back truth.
All right, let's go ahead and focus here. It's time to get back to the big time. Here comes the man, Becky Lynch. I guess Becky doesn't realize how hot it is inside the Intuit Dome wearing something with that much fur on it.
Okay, but it's sleeveless, so it's not like she's covering her entire body.
Yeah, still. Fashion faux pas in LA. Y'all are fucking insane. Anyway, Becky Lynch, again, former NXT Women's Champion, former Grand Slam Champion. Of course, main event of WrestleMania 35 says there's no woman on her level. And of course, said the best thing to happen to Lyra Vaquer was meeting her for the first time. Why everyone's been talking about Lyra Vaquer since beating Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch hasn't stopped talking about the fact that Lyra would not be where she is if it wasn't for her to begin with. I still disagree. There's those people that play a role in helping you get to where you are, but you are not part of Lyra's humble beginnings when she wrestled in Ireland, made her way through NXT UK, was undefeated as A-Lord Valkyrie, and finally came across the pond to NXT, only to be called up to the main roster last year, a little bit over 1 year ago, and has already done so much in the span of 1 year that took you over a decade to do. We'll see if Becky Lynch can back up her words and her self-exposed ego tonight at Money in the Bank. Again, folks, this is Money in the Bank. WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Lyra is the very first champion after beating Dakota Kai. Sorry, Casey. In the finals, why maybe had Dakota Kai and very few had Natalya. Was not gonna happen.
Wonder whatever happened to that person. Dakota Kai.
Anyway, here comes the champion.
Woo! Woo!
Valkyrie rises tonight, ready for battle once again. If you watch Chris Van Leet's interview, by the way, you'll understand the purpose behind the name Valkyria and Valkyrie. It comes from a folklore of Irish mythology that she read in a book. This will be her 6th title defense, and again, she is 2-0 against Becky Lynch. Beat her for the first time for the NXT Women's Championship back in your NXT at Halloween Havoc. Of course, as I said before, drafted to Monday Night Raw last year and beat the man when she betrayed her after Monday Night Raw at WrestleMania back at Backlash with her eyes closed after Becky Lynch gauged her in them. Lyra's been the definition of a workhorse, making this championship something that you earn by not pedigree, but by absolute progression. Carried that title quite well since the start of this new Netflix era. It hasn't even been 6 months yet that this title has been established. Put that in perspective. Referee Jessica Carr once again for this contest. As it looks like we are going to get introductions by Alicia Taylor. Actually, considering it's the only real championship match on this freaking card, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Right?
There's like a soulless look on Becky Lynch right now. Seriously.
Looks like little Rue was drawing all over her mommy's shirt.
Whoa, I brought cheap shot early. Well, shut up. Here we go. Totally tell to shut up there, and Lyra immediately on the attack. And this is what Becky has brought out of Lyra, carefully pointed out, JJ. This new forward aggression. Oh. Nice arm drag there. Another arm drag here. And a shout out to Rock and Roll. I think Money in the Bank's been pretty good so far. Again, shout out to Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams. Please follow Kevin Studio. Shout out to Statboy Mike. Of course, has been part of the call. It's been a lot of fun here with both these men. And again, right now, we are looking at the Women's Championship. And Lyra, again, checking on her hair. And Lyra right now, drop kick between the ropes. Becky catching her, though. And, oh, man! Dropping her on the floor. And let's keep in mind, everybody, champion's advantage, title legends hands be a pinfall or submission tonight, JJ. So again, if this newfound aggression, if Becky pushes Lyra over the edge, it almost makes me wonder if Becky's so dead that she can't beat her, would she want Lyra to get disqualified? Because that would mean Becky could still try and push for another opportunity.
Possible, but I mean, if Lyra wins via disqualification, does that mean Becky still can't challenge?
I would say no.
As far as I'm concerned, when you make those verbal agreements, you follow them to the letter. Either Becky Lynch wins the title or Becky Lynch doesn't challenge for it again. I think disqualification, though, would be coming down to champion pride. Nice exploder out of the corner. We know how prideful Lyra is. Here's the cover, hook the far leg, gets a 2 count. Or 1 count, excuse me. Becky Lynch right now in control of Lyra Vaquer in the early going. Lyra, of course, favoring the small of her back. I also wonder how much Lyra's recovered since that onslaught against Becky Lynch at Backlash and all these weekly attacks. Becky saying this is your champ for about 5 more minutes, trying to call her shot and basically dictate how long it goes. Becky working Lyra up against the ring ropes. Becky Lynch has not been the same since Lyra Vaquer beat her at Backlash, particularly. Been more unhinged, been more desperate. Prove a point to herself, I think, more than anybody else. Is she truly still the man? There's a back shover here, backslide, excuse me, 2 count only.
If you're going off of Becky's gear alone, yes, she is the man right now.
Again, though, Becky Lynch has been on hiatus, though, and JJ, and I have followed Lyra's work here in WWE since being drafted. Kick out at 2 by Lyra again. It's about
being drafted, because we followed her in NXT. You followed her in NXT UK.
Black and red for life. And JJ, it's about what have you done for me lately, not what you've done for me then. What has Lyra done lately versus what Becky Lynch did then? That's the testament of this title, and Lyra Vaquer has run as the inaugural Intercontinental Champion. And apparently to Becky, that doesn't matter. Leg drop, cover, back press, hook the near leg, gets a 2 count. And Becky Lynch right now got to think about Becky being a journey woman here also in WWE, a veteran. She is with a whole new crop. How much pressure does it add to those that have been here, the establishment for a long time, JJ, to know there's such an influx of young, hungry, promising talent that already might have your number? Lyra Vaquer right now being at the top of that list. We talked about Giulia, Cena Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez earlier. Lyra is still the freshest face prior to those signings on Monday Night Raw. And arguably, she's been the locker room leader outside Io Sky since Becky Lynch has been on hiatus.
That's fair. I mean, she's been showing her stuff here since winning this Intercontinental Championship, really standing her ground, helping to elevate the division, showing what a workhorse is.
Lyra right now looking for, dropping Becky with a swinging net breaker. And Becky and Lyra both down right now for the moment here, center of the ring. Lyra Vaquer with successful wins over Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, just to name a few of her defenses. Basically, at this point, it's a fight or flight mentality. That's what Lyra Vaquer had when Rhea Ripley came into NXT and re-inspired that hunger for competition that Lyra sought so much for. Of course, we saw Rhea Ripley fall short, though, in Miss Money in the Bank. You almost wonder if Lyra wins here, maybe Rhea Ripley could challenge Lyra Vaquer for this title. Oof. You want to talk
Wouldn't
about
that be a step down, though?
I really hate the idea of someone that was previously a world champion challenging for what you would call the mid-card. I would say a workhorse championship. Don't call it a step down. Call it a different legacy to lead. Here's a cover here by Lyra, 2 count only.
So by that philosophy, nobody that's been a women's champion should challenge for the IC title or win the title.
No. I'm just asking a legit question. I'm not saying it.
No, I'm responding to Noah, Mikey.
Oh, sorry.
No, like I said, I mean, like
so Natalya should never be IC champion since she's a 2-time former women's champion, despite the legacy that her family has to the Intercontinental title.
Exactly what I'm saying. I mean, you want to talk about Grand Slam, you talk about Grand Slam. Becky Lynch can't call her Grand Slam now. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to hold that thought, cover, reversal by Lyra, hook Becky Lynch's legs because it's a 2 count. If you want to prove how adaptive you are in professional wrestling, you should make any championship worth the value of a world championship. What a DDT! Shoot the half, hit the parlay, did Becky Lynch win? No! I think championships should not just be at a rank level based on name value. That's all I'm saying. If you've been one sort of champion and you got a chance to be a different type of champion, why not go for it?
Yeah, I agree with that mentality. I mean, the women's division in WWE is what it is. Some people like it, some people don't like it. We're not here to have that argument right now.
No.
But the WWE has more opportunities for the women now than it has ever had in its career.
Accurate.
2 world titles, 2 mid-card titles, tag titles, and then a championship and a mid-card championship in its developmental. And that's not even counting the newly established Evolve women's title. Huge superflex from Lyra to Becky.
And now we're going to put Becky away. Fisherman Buster. Down goes Becky. Covered by Lyra. Turbitin. Kick out at 2.5.
So you figure all these women on the roster, whether they have been there for a cup of coffee or they've been there for an extended period, like your Becky Lynch's, your Baileys who came in with the Horsewomen, or even longer, like your Naomi's and your Natalya's, any woman should want an opportunity to be a champion, whether it's been world or IC. Did we call it a step down when Triple H won the IC title alongside Stone Cold Steve Austin to form the 2-man power trip? No, we didn't. It was an opportunity for Triple H to help elevate talent like he did with Jeff Hardy. So if Becky or Bayley or Natalya or Naomi or Charlotte or whoever win the IC or US title, think of it as an opportunity for them to help elevate the Lyras, the Stephanies, the Giulias, the Roxannes.
And right now, disarmor in play, though. Cross arm breaker, takedown by Becky Lynch. Lyra in a world of trouble here. Got to reverse the pressure. To my point, match book, covered by the champion. Kick out at 2. Force Becky to break the hold.
Makes sense, Mikey?
Yep.
And right now, look at Lyra Valkyria.
Continue your play-by-play, Noah.
No, you're perfectly fine, JJ. That's why I made sure you got your point in. And well said, my friend. I'm glad somebody understands my point when it comes to the value of a championship and the competitors that go after those championships and holds them, let alone creates them, especially new out of the gate. Lyra here with a modified ankle lock right now. Becky Lynch in a world of trouble, finds the reach and forces the break, holding the ropes. And of course, Lyra has still a 5 count to add extra damage. There you see the bruises of battle already showing on Becky Lynch here. Drop kick between the ropes this time as Lyra takes down the challenger. And Lyra off the apron with a crossbody to the floor to Becky. Valkyria has not taken her eyes off Becky Lynch since the bell's rung and has continually focused on the attack. But Becky now looking for a reprieve, trying to create separation. And Becky right now draped over the Spanish announce table. Valkyria here. Uh-oh. Becky, though, again, catching Lyra. What just happened? And right now, sidestep. Becky set up and over the barricade. Referee Jessica Carstone, her 10 count, by the way. Punting Becky with these knees and these kicks across the barricade. Of course, the proficient striker that Lyra Valkyria is. And Lyra now, what the hell is she doing? Standing on the Spanish announce table. Over the barricade. Oh, man, what a guillotine leg drop.
Nice.
Lyra Valkyria collapsing Becky Lynch in a heap. Got to bring it back in the ring, though, if she's going to beat her. And clearly right now, this is the worst case scenario for Becky Lynch. Lyra might be one big move away from putting the man down once for all. Oh, and caught a power bomb. High step by Becky to win the title. Kick out at 2 by Lyra. That was a great reflexive counter by Becky Lynch. Almost a freaking state of false security there for the champion. Thought she was dead to rights. And Becky catching her at the perfect time with a beautiful power bomb, putting all her weight forward on the cover. Still Lyra able to kick out. Again, this Women's Intercontinental Championship match, the only real championship match booked on this card right now, is not disappointing, just like it did at Backlash. Both these women leaving it all on the line. There we go. Over 16,000 in the Intuit Dome right now, cheering both these women on, respecting this effort, JJ. As again, both doing the work to prove why they deserve to hold this title. Lyra trying to pick the ankle of Becky. Lyra Valkyria, though, down prone in the ring while Becky Lynch looks to ascend the ropes. Lyra meeting Becky, though. And fatigue and exhaustion's got to be setting in here, though, at some point here with these two. Despite how hot or how cold it is inside that building, the toll of battle is clear as day on both these incredible athletes. Again, is she ready to put Becky Lynch down? Hoisting up Becky Lynch up on the shoulders here. Inside second rope. Becky finding bat, though. Elbows to the side of the head. And now Becky hooking Lyra. It's manhandle slam! Cover! No!
The look on Becky's face.
Good move. Good move, though.
Yeah, JJ, that's a look of shock and awe. Take a look at the replay here. You thought that was it.
It should have been it. It would have been it for just about anybody else. But the champion has too much heart. The phrase "Rise of the Valkyrie" exists for a reason.
About saying now Becky Lynch is back at that state we saw at Backlash. What the hell do I do? You still couldn't put the freaking champion away with a manhandle slam out of the corner off the second rope. You haven't been able to beat Lyra Valkyria since NXT Halloween Havoc. Oh, in 2023, big slap there. And now Becky sent Lyra back first into the ring post and hooking up again. Another manhandle slam, this time on the floor. Frustration pouring out of the challenger.
But she can't win the title on the floor. She's got to get her back in the ring and pin her.
Again, that's dead weight too. Referee Jessica Carr's counts up to 6. Becky Lynch might literally just cost herself here. Going back inside the ring.
Breaks the count. Good move there by the veteran.
Yeah, smart move to your point here. And again, Lyra though, look at Becky. Nightwing! Nightwing! Both women down on the floor! Title up for grabs here again with the double count out. Lyra will retain. Talk about reactionary offense here. Up to 7, up to 7, up to 8, up to 9. Both women down, both women need to make it in, and both beat the count at 9.5. What a disaster.
When was the last time we saw somebody win via count out, Noah? It's like the Blue Thunder Bomb. Like, almost never win a match that way.
It's been a while.
Almost.
To answer your question, Jade, as far as count out, I can't tell you. And also, we don't talk about that move here when neither woman is using it. But anyway, Becky Lynch and Lyra Vaquer somehow breaking the count. This fight continues to rage on. Now, Becky and Lyra meeting each other in the middle, trading forearms. It's becoming a firefight here in the Intuit Dome. Lyra Vaquer and Becky Lynch unloading on each other. Becky became, of course, so bitter against Lyra Vaquer, saying that she's the one to lead the next generation. But Becky realizes now how desperate she wants to still be that. Lyra with the roll-up here, kicking out 2, and Lyra just got caught from first and second rope. Becky hooking up Lyra here. Another manhandle slam counter. The roll through. Shoulders down by Lyra. Kicking out 2. Back in reversal. Tights got the tights. Becky stole it. Becky stole it. Becky stole it. Becky Lynch is the champion.
Told you. I told you she was going to take it.
Desperate, JJ, desperate, by the skin of her teeth and a grip of the tights. That is not a definitive win. But Becky Lynch, to your point, somehow, someway, did pin Lyra. Becky Lynch is the new and second ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. And like Lyra, I can't fucking believe it.
Look, I never said it was going to be a clean victory, but she won just like I thought she would.
Again, to your point, leverage. All it took was leverage. Look at this. Victory roll by Lyra. Reversal on Becky Lynch. Becky grabbing the tights. Jessica Carr out of position. Only at the shoulders. Becky Lynch escapes tonight with the championship and beats Lyra Valkyria. Split second awareness of desperation by the challenger. And Becky has overcome Lyra tonight at Money in the Bank.
146 days done.
A hell of a first start, though, for this championship pedigree. Now we will see if Lyra will indeed raise the hand of Becky Lynch. Lyra in utter disbelief. I can't blame her. A battle of inches, quite literally. A deal is a deal, Lyra.
She's a woman of her word. She's going to do it whether she wants to or not.
Well, at the end of the day, besides the fact that she stole it, that was a hell of a fight, and Lyra has to be devastated, though, considering, again, she was the first, held that championship proudly. And possession 9/10 of the law, again, as Lyra raises the hand of Becky Lynch. There it is. I give Lyra credit, though, for being a woman of her word and a commendable champion. What the hell?
She wants it to all 4 sides.
Okay, now this is pathetic. Becky. Come on.
Come on. She fulfilled it. That's done.
About to say, that's enough, all right? Oh, good grief. Give me a fucking break, Becky. Why do this? What's the point in doing this? There's no reason.
Because she's the man. She wants to be dominant. That's why.
Oh, now what?
He put around her waist.
Oh, come the fuck on. This was not part
the
of
humiliation. This is going to be what brings Bailey out, guys. Come on,
right.
wait for it.
I hope you're sincerely right. Otherwise, I would just literally have Lyra kick Becky's head off or hit her in the back of the head with the championship.
I go for that option.
Yeah, Lyra Valkyria, again, a woman of honor and respect. Everything that Becky Lynch once was and is not anything of nowadays. As Lyra Valkyria straps the Velcro. Wait a minute! German suplex! Good! Break that bitch! Now, Lyra Valkyria not done yet! Fuck you all with your opinions! Nightwing! Long overdue for Lyra Valkyria. Unleash hell! Becky
Bird
deserves
Lady
that and
snap.
then some. Becky Lynch overstepped her boundaries, and she deserved every bit and then some. Lyra Valkyria, commendable run as champion, and your day will come again, but Becky Lynch for now does hold the gold. Becky Lynch may be the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, but Lyra Valkyria walks out a real champion's mentality tonight. Well done, Lyra Valkyria. Respect. And Becky, you deserve that, bitch. As they talk about WWE 2K25, the video game, people that spend $70 and efforts $119 on Mario Kart World. Hi, Aaron. And Nintendo Switch 2 for $450, whatever. All right, well, that being said, and by the way, to those of you that said yes to the barely bonus point, you lose.
Is that the true price of the Switch, really?
Yes. JJ, please speak your thoughts on this match. Becky Lynch probably deserves everything she got, and please talk about what you think Bayley might still show up. Go ahead.
Just going to say, technically, the night's not over yet. She didn't show up there, but if we see Becky backstage doing something, Bayley could always enter the frame and confront her there. Let's not completely throw the bonus point out just yet.
Fine.
However, if she doesn't show up tonight, I think it's a lock we're going to see her on Raw Monday.
Well, that being said, we are, of course, in Los Angeles, the City of Angels, also Devils. This is the 17th WPLE in this city, hosted 4 WrestleManias, and it's the second W event in the Intuit Dome, the newly innovative Intuit Dome, of course, since the Netflix era has started for WWE TKO as we know it. Over 17,000 fans packed inside this building tonight for WWE's Money in the Bank. As we just saw, Lyra Valkyria lose to Becky Lynch, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And of course, the stars are out in LA tonight. There you see Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian taking in WWE's Money in the Bank. And right now, again, we got a moment to breathe. So, Mikey, while we got a moment to breathe, please give your thoughts on that Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Then we'll get JJ's thoughts when he returns back on screen.
Overall, the match was good. I saw Danielle Fishel behind the Kardashians as we see Pat McAfee playing with his toys.
Okay.
But
good grief.
Yeah.
That acknowledgement.
I know, just playing with toys, right? I mean, that's all I got to do. Just grown men playing with their toys. Been there, done that. Yeah, I'm the one with the Lego Millennium Falcon down there. Anyway, overall, good match. Little bit of shenanigans at the end there. Like I said, trying to show her dominance as the man. She's got the belt. What she's going to do with it, who knows? Like you said, Bayley could be off in the weeds somewhere. And when she pops up, go with it. I mean, that's the only choice. If no one else is going to step up or make that title relevant again, then prove me wrong, and I hope you do, that it needs to be that way. It needs to be with some stability.
Fair enough. JJ, closing remarks regarding that Women's Intercontinental Championship match before we move into our next match here.
Phenomenal matchup by both combatants. Went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. Never said Becky was going to win clean, just said Becky was going to win.
And I will say this in closing. She got what she deserved, particularly afterwards. Commendable bout by both. Definitely not a pure win or a definitive win, a desperate win. I could definitely see them running it back, trying to get a rematch at some point, because that wasn't part of the deal as far as Lyra is concerned. And Lyra's far from done with taking the man's head off of her body and putting it on her mental. That being said, believe it or not, folks, there's 2 matches left. Do you want to guess what's our semi-main? Don't say anything. JJ, would you like to show the graphic?
Sure, I can do that.
Your main event, folks, is not this. It's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match that's up next. Here we fucking go. Andrade, Seth freaking Rollins, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen. So, Sikoa, Penta, and the man I refuse to name. Again, all 6 of these men qualified here. We talked about the success rate of the women being 100%. Stat boy, you and I already talked about the stats when it comes to the men. Not 100%. We, of course, know Seth Rollins is a former champion, the only one to actually be a former champion, Money in the Bank participant, and also the first man who cashed in at WrestleMania, still known as the cash-in of the century. But that being said, it's also been one of those nights where hopefully, to JJ's point, we might get a first-time winner in somebody that needs it versus the ones that have been established through it.
Indeed. Like I said on the prediction show, Seth is the guy. Seth is the one. Seth is the new one since he's with Paul Heyman. He's the biggest name here. He could give a boost to the heavyweight titles scenario. LA Knight is second. I know but I said on that show as well, you got to pull the trigger on LA Knight now. He's the megastar. I'm sorry. He's hot. The other 4 guys, El Grande Americano, really not title material. Penta is going to be the crazy one. I said it before, I'll say it again. There will be Cero Miedo from the ladder, and they're going to take Penta out on a stretcher tonight. Andrade, he's just there to join in the Lucha Libre stuff. Solo is there just to be the muscle. And based off of what we saw on SmackDown last night, I would love to see multiple interruptions in this match from the Samoan Werewolf, because he's going to want to confront Solo eventually. This can boost that going. Got to have Roman come out, upset Seth. That would be a great storyline. And heck, let's just bring in some of the other luchadors and rip off the mask of El Grande Americano. Why not?
Look at Mikey trying to book everything to happen all at once. Again, WWE Money in the Bank, folks. We're happy to present this. Shout out to the over 30 of you that are watching across all outlets. Again, you all make this possible. You all carry the passion, and that's why we continue to progress and demonstrate it in the best way we can at Survivor Studios across all shows here and all brands here for all things professional wrestling. And again, JJ, we talked about verbatim. It's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We've done all these champions there done, so we get your thoughts during what's going to be a plethora of entrances. And I'll give you what people said who their winners are also during this too. Alicia, break it down.
A lot of what Statboy said, I agree with. He talked about the run-ins, but conveniently left out CM Punk to help stop Seth Rollins. As far as El Grande Americano not being championship material, never count out the Lucha legend. Period, point blank. El Grande Americano is there for a reason. He won his qualifying match. Leave him alone. We have other luchadors in the match in Andrade El Idolo, Penta El Cielo Miedo, who's still teaching kids how to throw gang signs.
That's just what people need in freaking LA, especially without Grand Theft Auto.
Right?
Well, that being said, the vision might be very clear for Seth Rollins, despite wearing a visor indoors. As Seth Rollins comes in here, the only man to have won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match across this field and cash in successfully in what is still held today as the cash-in of the century when he cashed in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31. As WrestleMania continues to hold favor for the Grand Slam champion, the revolutionary, the visionary, after beating Roman Reigns and CM Punk earlier this year at WrestleMania 41. And Paul came in as aligned himself with Seth freaking Rollins to be the guy all the way to WrestleMania 42.
Can you believe the heist of the century was 10 years ago, Noah?
It's insanity, in my opinion. To put this in perspective real quick, the 53 of you that put in your predictions, a majority of 51% of you went with Seth freaking Rollins. Second up at 34% was LA Knight, and third was Sikoa at 11%.
Wow.
The secondary, though, JJ, was much more marginal, though almost a four-way tie, 4% difference among LA Knight, Seth freaking Rollins, Sikoa, and actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Chad Gable.
Chad Gable is not in this match. El Grande Americano is.
I'm just going off what I put on my form, and I stand by what I put on it. That being said, right now, the Intuit Dome is serenading the absolutely delusional but dangerous and successful Seth freaking Rollins, why he has Paul Heyman in his corner. A man that knows all about the dangers and the beauty of a ladder match. Oh, boy. Every time I think this entrance is going to get more and more cooler, Triple H finds another way to add a little bit more hype to it. Because there it comes to your point. Penta Zero Miguel. And we talked about Rey Fenix during our Worlds Collide watch along, JJ, of course, straight out of the California area. Now I got Penta Zero Miguel looking to actually get success where his brother didn't get success.
It could be a losing night for both Lucha Bros.
And of course, as we talked about with the women, the same thing does apply for the men. All 6 men qualified tonight, of course, with triple threat qualifying matches. Penta Zero Miguel has truly taken the WWE Universe by storm in an extremely quick and impressive fashion since, might I add, debuting here in the Intuit Dome. And of course, this is his first WWE ladder match, but if you follow Penta's career as long as I have, you know how familiar Penta Zero Miguel is with ladders regarding trios titles and AAA tag team championships. To your point, JJ, you witnessed this man death defy and surprise you in the Fabulous Forum in a friggin' ladder match. Only 5 months into his career in WWE, this man's already been involved in the Royal Rumble. He has been on the Grande stage, WrestleMania, and now finds himself in his first Money in the Bank ladder match. Wrestling in every country you could think of with a professional wrestling ring, whether it's 16 by 16 or 20 by 20. This is going to be insane, and I really think he's going to do some ridiculous destroyer through a ladder. And here comes the third qualifier.
Lucha legend, El Grande Americano.
This guy is the biggest joke since Nacho Libre, and that was a movie character. Kill me. This is why America is so damn stupid versus the rest of the world, and why everyone is right now reading at a 6th grade level.
Is this? Do you dislike him so much that you didn't even put him in the graphic, or is that a WWE thing?
I purposely made sure this gentleman did not get the full graphic because I refuse to acknowledge this.
Okay.
It was actually my decision, because I knew Noah doing the Simply Predicting was going to be before SmackDown when they were going to release the full graphic with him on it. So I grabbed the one that they showed on Raw before he qualified. That way he could actually go through Simply Predicting tranquilo and not bust a blood vessel or anything while discussing the match. And then even when they released the official image, I just left it this way out of respect for Noah, because I do respect my brother as much as I love and honor the lucha legend that is El Grande Americano. I know Noah feels differently, and so I try to cooperate and help him as best as I can.
Andrade, no stranger to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Also, of course, a former participant. Recently, I believe now this will be his third Money in the Bank ladder match. A few years ago, of course, he did some insane sunset flip power bombs through suspended ladder bridges with the likes of Mustafa Ali and Ricochet before Brock Lesnar ruined that match for Andrade.
Wonder what happened to those guys.
Who?
Mustafa Ali, he's over in TNA doing great shit with Order 4. The other guy, I don't know what happened to him.
He lost his damn mind, apparently, but I'm about to lose my damn mind if we talk any more about this conspiracy theory that's going to haunt me to the day that he's unmasked. Anyway, Andrade Higalo, that Sombra, to your point, has also been butting heads with Carmelo Hayes. That was one of the men he actually qualified for this match over. And why I'm sober, this match is brought to you by Alcoholic Cinnamon Drinks. Choose them to drink if you want. I don't judge you. I don't drink, though. I'm straight edge. Anyway.
And if you do drink Fireball, 2 ounces of Fireball mixed with cream soda makes a tasty beverage. It's called a cinnamon roll.
I still need to try that. I've wanted to. I just haven't done it yet.
I guarantee you this gentleman probably isn't trying to drink anything like that unless it means it drinks success, because here comes Solo Sikoa, your former tribal chief. Ironically enough, so far, Solo Sikoa is going to battle on his own. Why Seth Rollins may have Paul Heyman, we did talk about before, their families, JJ. Neither family has escorted these men to ringside yet.
I know. The only accompaniment we've seen is Paul Heyman.
Of course, Sikoa has been at odds and with Jigglypuff too since adding Jeff Cobb to the bloodline. And of course, last time we saw Sikoa in the Intimate Dome, he lost not only the role of Tribal Chief that he stole, he lost to Ula Fala to Roman Reigns.
To your point, Jeff Cobb, now known as JC Mateo. We're not going to get on the renaming thing.
No.
Leave it go. JC still stands for Jeff Cobb. But,
And of course, this no-holds-barred environment might be perfect for a freaking savage Samoan. Beat Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix to qualify here tonight. Yeah!
Here comes the megastar.
With everybody saying
L.A. Knight. Yeah. Coming home to the city where he made his name as Sean Ricker, before Eli Drake, before L.A. Knight, before even Max Dupree.
We don't talk about that. LA in LA sounds like a perfect thing to me for Money in the Bank. To your point, JJ, the Intimate Dome, their loins are a-tingling, the air is full of Kavorga, and everyone wants to hop aboard that gravy train with everybody saying, Mr. Money in the Bank is L.A. Knight. Of course, we've seen LA Knight before, as I said, in previous Money in the Bank ladder matches, losing last time and the last possible second because of Damian Priest sending himself of heaven. Damian Priest is not part of this equation tonight. We talk about successful winners, not only Seth and Rollins, but the likes of course, the Rated R Superstar Edge, CM Punk, men that have won the Money in the Bank ladder match multiple times.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess I see who prime target is here. Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, El Grande Americano being smart, going out of the ring, Solo Sikoa being smart, just hanging out in the corner.
Well, I mean, at this point, if it's not your fight, why would you fight? You know what I mean? If it's not your battle, why would you get involved in it? Then again, I mean, it might be the best strategy. Like I said, Seth Rollins is the only man in this field to win Money in the Bank.
And now Solo Sikoa, the odd man out here, as Penta, El Idolo, and L.A. Knight stare him down.
Well, let's not forget the amount of destruction that Sikoa left in his wake at the expense of these men when he was calling himself the tribal chief. Oh! That's what you get.
Neck breaker there by LA Knight.
Yeah. Oh!
Nice.
Right now we're down to 3 men here. Pendulum drop kick in the corner. LA Knight right now needs to tap into what brought him to the dance in the first place here, not just in LA, but in WWE, to your point, JJ. And I'm sure El Grande Americano is very banged up after his alter ego fought El Hijo de Vikingo earlier today at Worlds Collide for the Triple Omega Championship. Not to mention,
I don't know what you're talking about. El Grande Americano has not seen action yet today.
Oh, freaking hell, I'm sure he did somewhere before.
This is his first match. As Andrade kicked to the midsection of Seth, forearm smashes now, backing him into the ropes.
And about to say, Andrade right now, the smartest man in the match, focusing on Seth freaking Rollins here.
Irish whip reversed by Rollins. Andrade up and over, takes out a bunch of guys on the outside with a somersault plancha.
Oh! And Penta meets Seth freaking Rollins with a super kick.
And now Penta to the top rope here. What's he going to do?
You realize this man's local, right?
I know he has Piero Vieto.
On the ring pounce! Works out the field, dive into the outside of the crossbody. Oh, what the hell? And Chad Gable getting back into this, wiping out freaking Penta here with a cheap shot. And right now, Chad Gable grabbing a ladder here, using it as a weapon. We saw how close Chad Gable was last year to winning men's Money in the Bank. Literally at one point, deadlift Germaning a ladder the long way onto one of his opponents. And I believe that opponent might have been Andrade. Into the midsection there to Seth freaking Rollins as Chad Gable is firmly in control here. And at this point right now, all you got to do is literally look at the man's mannerisms, his style, his body build to know who you're dealing with here. A phenomenal war, though. I give Chad Gable all credit in the world. He should be a main event player. He should be a world champion. But it was not his time to be El Hijo de Vikingo earlier today. Inzaguri by Penta Sabiero. And Penta right now bringing the ladder in, trying to find success where his brother Rey Fenix couldn't. Once again right now, Penta with Chad Gable inside the ring. All you got to do is unmask the man and take out the steel plate from underneath his head so you don't got to worry about a headbutt. Open palm strike. We all know the only freaking weapon that a Grande Americano has is a loaded mask. And right now, Penta trying to beat this cosplaying luchador. Irish whip in the corner. Fall up in Zaguri. Rocks Chad Gable. Takes him out at the legs. You gotta watch Seth freaking Rollins behind, though, as Penta looking again for that pendulum driver. Oh, and it's a ladder in the midsection. Oh, man, Andrade eats a ladder face first. Are you guys quiet for some reason here because I'm freaking talking about who the man actually is before you go on a conspiracy theory that makes me really want to rant? Or are we just having issues here?
No. I wasn't talking because Dwayne tagged me in something in the no DQ chat, and I was replying to him.
Okay, respect. I just want to make sure.
Mikey probably wasn't talking because he was afraid of my wrath if he talked over me.
Yeah, fair enough. Fear the wrath of the Renegade.
Oof.
Oh, my God!
Gut first onto the ladder from El Grande Americano to Seth freaking Rollins.
This is a friggin' Niagara driver of sorts that we saw Chad Gable use earlier today against Hijo de Vikingo. Oh, would you look at that? A Chad Gable move in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Coincidental? I don't think so at all. I'm just saying.
Of course it's coincidental. I mean, when you grow up idolizing someone, when you train with the same people, you're going to borrow moves from them.
May I remind you that literally is the same body build, the same exact move. There are no freaking Chad Gable 2.0s in WWE as far as I know. How much more obvious nature do you need to see that Chad Gable is cosplaying a luchador, trying to beat a bunch of Americans who's going to be a luchador earlier as his actual self?
Until he is unmasked and proven that it is Chad Gable, you cannot defame the character of El Grande Americano.
Well, maybe
You
so.
can't prove anything.
You're
If
delusional,
this was a
DJ.
court of law, everything you throw out there, Noah, is speculation and hearsay. And
All
none
I
of that
need-
is admissible.
All I need is a fat ass wallet and a freaking tope to lie my ass in a public court system that would far more trust me than they would trust you right now when it comes to deporting this fat ass luchador back across Mexico. So it's a call of LA Night across
Look,
the ladder.
I can show video footage from the night where El Grande Americano was arrested while Chad Gable was getting interviewed. Straight from the WWE archives, undoctored. That is physical evidence that they are not the same person. Until you can provide me with something else that states otherwise, you need to cease this slander against the lucha legend that is El Grande Americano.
You're an idiot, and you know that. The freaking CG boots wasn't enough for you on Monday Night Raw, conveniently. The freaking move, the freaking mannerisms. What more do you need to prove a point when somebody trying to be Mr. America in 2025 freaking is Chad Gable? It's LA Knight across the ladder against Penta.
It was tweeted about the airlines lost El Grande Americano's boots. Chad Gable very, very nicely loaned his boots to El Grande in order to allow him to compete. It happens all the time. Airlines lose shit.
Oh, how
it happens more often than it should, quite frankly, especially considering how much we fucking pay to fly on airlines.
Right now, suffering.
Our shit should be locked up like fucking Fort Knox. But no, our shit gets lost all the goddamn time.
Apparently, Chad Gable lost his damn mind trying to be someone that is actually not, just to try and find success here in WWE while offending a culture in the process. Chad Gable, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and Penta up on the ladder while Sikoa is setting up a third ladder. Penta dropped down now. 4 of the men are up right now trying to seize the briefcase. Andrade botch. Lost his footing almost. Slopes are slippery here, and the humidity's higher than my freaking blood temperature at this point. And all 6 men right now are jumping position across 3 ladders, looming underneath that money in the bank briefcase. Chad Gable, that loaded fucking mass to the head of Seth freaking Rollins. LA Knight and Sikoa fighting against Penta, Samio, and Andrade El Idolo. Penta dropped down now. Chad Gable on the tallest ladder, and so freaking Rollins might be able to send Chad Gable back down the floor as he's stun gun across the top rope. Oh man, a messy fall to Andrade. LA Knight's there, LA Knight's there. Freaking running race right now just to reach for a damn briefcase. Good grief. Pedigree!
And a full strike.
Drops Penta literally face first. And right now we're down to Seth freaking Rollins and Solo Sikoa. And Rollins and Sikoa had a lot of words to share alongside their family standing eye to eye as we saw last night, Friday, on SmackDown. Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins pretty much knew they were not going to climb the briefcase as long as one of those 2 men was still in the ring. OTC chants raining out here. The mortal rival of Solo Sikoa and the lifelong enemy of Seth friggin' Rollins, and Solo and Seth teeing off here in the middle of the ring. Overhead shots, push on the ropes. Oh, it's a super kick. Solo's feeling it here. Might be looking to bring out the Samoan split. Swing and a miss. Super kick by Seth. Rocks Solo down to a knee. Another super kick takes Solo Sikoa down for the time being. It's also one of those things we talk about, like with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Inexperience might be your greatest strength and also your greatest weakness. Again, Penta Ceramiero has not been involved in this environment. Oh, man, another shot to the midsection. Neither has Solo Sikoa or Chad Gable under this persona. And of course, we talked about before the 90% or so success rate of the men cashing in for a world championship opportunity and winning. Talking about double Money in the Bank ladder match winners. Like I said, Edge, CM Punk, The Miz, as Dwayne pointed out earlier. Thank you for that, Dwayne Atkinson. Oh, side step drop total. So it's a face first in the ladder. And now Seth looking to burn it down with a curve stop to Solo here. don't care how big or how tough you are. A curb stomp will drop you on your ass, JJ.
Absolutely.
Well, Seth Rollins right now, what's he doing? There's a lot right in the ring. What's he doing?
Grabbing another ladder.
I think he wanted a big one.
He has ill intentions.
Ill intentions or a dangerous environment to create. Like as dangerous as his vision. And to your point, we saw what happened when Bronson Reed and friggin' Braun Breaker were confronted by Sami Zayn and CM Punk. They got obliterated. 17,000
Sounds
plus.
like the crowd is chanting Cierro Miedo.
I mean, again, we are in California. You did point out earlier, JJ, how this is stomping grounds. I don't think that ladder, though, is quite underneath that briefcase, though, as Chad Gable now is looking to come up and pick the ankle. Ankle lock applied by Chad Gable at the top of the ladder to Seth freaking Rollins. And Gable right now torquing the ankle of the Visionary while Andrade Idolo might be looking to climb out of the back door. Again, it's hard to grab a briefcase when you're trying to break a man's ankle in the process. Now Andrade literally fingertips away. Can he find his footing over Seth and Rollins? There's Penta, though. Penta playing defense as well. Dangerous position by all four men here on the tallest ladder in this match. Oh, my God! Oh, the sunset flip powerbomb superplex!
Jesus.
Seth freaking Rollins and Andrade will have to be broken in half.
Calling Dr. Chiropractor. You got a patient in Seth Rollins.
Look at these again here. There's the one from Andrade to El Grande Americano. And then suplex there from Penta to Seth.
I think Penta caught more of the ladder, though, than Seth did. I think Seth caught more of the ropes. Either way, still horrible landing. Heyman pleading right now with Seth freaking Rollins to somehow rearrange his spine and get back in the match before he runs out of time. And right now, Andrade and Penta, well, we talked about Lucha Libre earlier. Oh, boy. Penta and Andrade.
Again, two men very familiar with each other from AEW.
And before that, we're being honest here, let's not forget the legacy of La Sombra in AAA, as we talked about earlier. Penta and Andrade now to the top of a ladder. What? Wait. You? Wait, is Andrade saying Penta grab it?
He's tricking him. Look.
Clearly, he got shots in the midsection, and face first goes Penta on the top of the ladder. Why would Penta follow a trick as old as time itself like that? I guess you do whatever you can do to get some sort of advantage here, especially when it comes to the precarious position at the top of a ladder, JJ. And both men now rot and worse for wear, and Andrade going back down on the ladder. Andrade bringing Penta down the hard way, and Andrade now in the driver's seat. Everyone else laid out for the time being. LA Knight slowly stirring. Oh! Messy, mean super kick. Andrade right now looking at Penta climbing the ladder. Andrade grabbing another ladder, though. Standing it up and driving it into the back of Penta. Penta wedged between two ladders.
Now Andrade looks to be setting up that ladder bridge like we saw in the women's match.
I don't think he's got enough distance, though, between the corner and the ladder right now. Well, thanks to Penta slowly pushing it in place, I guess he does. Andrade sends LA Knight up and over to the floor. Penta once again climbing with assistance of the suspended ladder bridge. And Andrade again trying to play defense. I sense disaster.
I sense destroyer.
Andrade hooking up Penta. Cero Miguel, don't do this, you loco. And Penta trying to block whatever Andrade was looking for here.
He has Cero Miedo. Of course he's loco.
And fair enough. Zero fair.
Cero Miedo.
Oh no. Penta.
Destroyer.
Oh my God.
Got it. And the ladder held.
The ladder buckled, to your point, though, guys. With Andrade's head wedged inside it.
Buckled but didn't break.
You had to call Penta doing something crazy, didn't you, JJ?
I think I called for it on Simply Predicting. I wasn't even there.
I called it.
All right, well, you both have played a part. Freaking tag team. Of course I'm tag team. I'm tag team with two people that believe in conspiracy theory of Chad Gable cosplaying a luchador, and I'm freaking trapped now with a reckless luchador, literally in Penta Simiero, breaking Andrade's neck. And now Penta trying to climb the ladder. I saw Sikoa trying to play defense. Penta sent face first. I don't think we're gonna see Andrade for any time soon. And Solo mocking Penta. Yeah, let's see how far that gets you without climbing the ladder. Paul Heyman still watching on out of the corner of my screen. And subtle mockery, though, by Solo Sikoa here. He's not getting any favors or any fans here tonight. And LA Knight now pulling Solo Sikoa to the outside. And how long have we seen these two go to war, JJ?
Oh, it's been a minute.
He tried to take Solo Sikoa out ahead of facing Jigglypuff 2 for the United States Championship.
And there's green shirt guy.
I mean, again, Plant. I mean, he's always there at these events. Just as call what it is in the same exact seat. That's not that's coincidence, folks. That's not coincidence. Excuse me. And right now, a very suspended bridge between the ring and the barricade set up by LA Knight. Oh, what a right by Solo Sikoa. And none of these men are any closer to victory, but they might be closer to injury. Elbow to the midsection, Irish whip, and Solo driven into the steel ring steps.
LA Knight and Penta back in the ring.
Oh. And freaking again, down to two men here with a director set with the ladder. Penta, though, hoisted up by LA Knight. Uh-oh, wait a minute. LA Knight right now hoisting up Penta. What is LA looking for here? Penta in a dangerous spot. Oh, code red, but you can't pin him. Cell reversal, though. About to say, I think that was on instinct more than anything else, JJ. Again, you can't pin a man here.
No, not at all.
Penta right now looking to climb the ladder and seize the briefcase, as we saw Naomi do in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, where now she has a chance against Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton anytime she wants. Chad Gable with the German suplex to Penta off the ladder.
That was El Grande Americano, Noah. Come on.
Me.
Be professional. There's another suplex from El Grande Americano to Seth Rollins.
No one else does German suplex
And
like
one
that.
to LA Knight.
The heavy bandage right arm of freaking Chad Gable. Shades of what he had in his match with Heel to Vikingo. Freaking suplex machine Chad Gable right now on full display.
So shouldn't they be Mexican suplexes?
Oh, don't you start with me either, Mikey. I swear on everything that's pure. Oh, and Seth driven into that ladder. And Chad Gable right now trying to take apart this ladder Richter set. Don't know what the fuck he's figured here. Again, I'm not sure.
Grande Americano is looking to set the ladder up so he can ascend it and grab the briefcase. No, maybe not.
About to say, JJ.
He's got a wicked gash on his back right now.
Ladder and steel will do that, of course, across human skin. Well, either way, this guy might find himself as Mr. Money in the Bank Monday night if he has his way, as he looks for, oh, fuck.
There's the fireball ladder.
That's the most ridiculous fucking prop I've ever seen in a wrestling show in my life. And I've seen doors in GCW and TNA. Just saying. That is more ridiculous than the polka dot ladder brought to us by Stardust at WrestleMania 32. How's that for a bar for you?
And now getting the helicopter spin. There goes Seth. There goes Solo.
Oh, bloody hell.
There goes Penta. There goes LA Knight. There goes Seth again. El Grande Americano with the helicopter spin. Gracias.
Now, Chad Gable right now, whatever the fuck you want to call him, in a critical moment here where all he's doing is suspend this much more, looks like, heavily reinforced ladder. And the
what I want to call him is his actual name, which is El Grande Americano.
Shut it, JJ.
I will not.
And Chad Gable right now making the ascent up the ladder, looking to claim the Money in the Bank briefcase. Whether he goes to AAA or WWE remains to be seen. Penta now meeting him in kind on the opposite side. And his head on it, though. Penta, though, fighting off Chad Gable. Oh, and a headbutt to that mask. And Chad Gable goes down hard. And Penta might be able to win. And now Seth freaking Rollins meets Penta at the top of this fireball ladder. I fucking hate saying that, by the way.
Penta and Seth trading blows here.
And this ladder, though, is extremely high, though. This is a dangerous situation for both men. Penta trying to kick off Seth freaking Rollins. And right now, Seth still somehow holding on to the ladder. Penta trying to refine his footing up on the ladder. And there's Chad Gable inserting that steel plate inside that mask. That damn steel plate that he talked fucking not Ray Phoenix with at WrestleMania. Why the fuck would Chad Gable need that?
Maybe his head is hurting after that headbutt, and the cold steel will help to numb it some.
That is not an ice patch. What the fuck is wrong with you? Trying to freaking talk about that match brought to us by Tylenol. And Seth Rollins dropped off the ladder by Penta. What the fuck is wrong with you, JJ? Your solution is Wade Barrett. And right now, Penta right now might be the only realistic person to save it from this nightmare. Penta's the ladder. LA Knight, though, catapulting Chad Gable. What the hell?
Running up the ladder, up to the top rope, uses the other ladder, step across. Now he's up there. Headbutt to Penta.
Oh, no!
Could he do it here? Could El Grande do it? There's LA Knight.
Christ, LA Knight at the top of the ladder. Oh, my God.
Ooh. Thank you, LA Knight.
Avalanche backdrop suplex off the ladder.
Look at this again. The agility of El Grande Americano. Running up one ladder, slingshotting onto the other, headbutt, almost fingertips away, and then that backdrop suplex from LA Knight taking him off.
God bless it. And now Rollins, I believe, is the only man still inside the ring. Seth freaking Rollins might become a two-time Money in the Bank winner here. Seth freaking Rollins with the best chance presented him so far in this match. Paul Heyman willing him on. Penta's down. Andrade's down. Chad Gable's down. LA Knight's down. Sikoa's down. Seth freaking Rollins is mere moments away from coming Mr. Money in the Bank once again. And Andrade is somehow trying to crawl towards that ladder. Rollins is there. Rollins got it. Rollins got it. Andrade, though, immediately trying to get up there. Meets Seth with an elbow. And both men now on the top of the ladder. And somehow Andrade taken down. Now Penta flying up the ladder. Whip Andrade on the opposite side. Andrade pulls Seth down. Seth swinging a miss. Andrade, big boot, drives Seth to the outside. Now Andrade and Penta on that fireball ladder. Andrade and Penta at the top. One of these men could very well become Mr. Money in the Bank. Penta with a headbutt. And again, driven to the top of that ladder. And now Rollins bringing another ladder in play, but Andrade fingertips away, just has to unclip it. So Sikoa now coming into play here. Andrade's got his hands on the briefcase, though.
Uh-oh. Not
Andrade,
good.
though, has lost his footing off the ladder. I can't reach for the cage. We got to save your damn life. Go ahead and come at a hook, though. The pyramid, or whatever they call it. LA Knight drives Seth to the outside. Andrade and Solo stood at the top of the fireball ladder. Penta and LA Knight meeting on top of a smaller ladder. Andrade literally grabbing the very top of that entire thing. Wait, what? Right, Rollins is calling for it. What's Rollins calling for here? That face first goes Andrade to the top of the ladder. And Penta and LA Knight fighting.
Oh, shit. Ron Breaker and Bronson Reed. Andrade down. Penta and LA Knight.
Yeah, LA Knight and Penta need to hurry. They need to run. Oh my God, what a spirit check Gable I brought. Cut him in fucking half. And now Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed ripping Penta, ripping LA Knight off the ladder. And Bronson Reed with a powerbomb on Andrade while Braun sends LA Knight to the outside.
Fireball ladder has been broken now by Bronson Reed shucking it.
That don't surprise me. Bronson Reed bringing that thing like a toothpick.
Braun Breaker stalking somebody.
Oh boy, look out, look out, look out, look out, look out, look out.
Spear to LA Knight.
LA Knight speared back to Louisiana with that spear, broken in half. Pure chaos unfolding here tonight at Money in the Bank in this men's ladder match.
Noah, this is all you.
Oh no, Tsunami! Crushing Andrade El Idolo. Seth Rollins' vision is about to become a reality once again, thanks to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker destroying everybody. Rollins' insurance policy called upon by Paul Heyman. Oh, wait a second. Uh-oh. There's one man they haven't attacked yet. So Sikoa right now. Oh, fuck.
The Samoan werewolf is coming out.
But who's he going to go after?
Well, he's not
And
alone.
JC Mateo, too.
It's the Vision versus the Bloodline coming ahead tonight at Money in the Bank. Look at these four monsters about to collide. This is going to be insane. The first time I've seen in a long time the deck's been stacked evenly on both sides. What a moment. For the
And there's
biggest,
no
baddest.
disqualification, so nothing can be done about this.
Yeah, exactly. This is for the biggest, baddest motherfuckers in an unrestricted environment.
It's going to
Jeff
set up
Cobb.
a great match.
And Jeff Cobb and Braun Breaker. What the fuck's this match now? Oh, face first goes JC Mateo. Braun Breaker creating distance. Uh-oh. Braun Breaker right now scouting JC Mateo. Spear through the barricade. Bronson Reed's got to refocus now as it's one-on-one as he's in the ring with Samoan Werewolf, the United States champion, Jacob Fatu. Talk about lesson in power. Who wins in this battle, Kaijus? Pop up. What the fuck?
Whoa!
No way!
Very impressive.
Jacob Fatu, Power Samoan drop, popping Bronson Reed for the Spanish announce table. Fatu is insane!
All gas, no brakes.
And now we get the look.
We talked about before the tensions between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. What is love? I think we got our answer tonight, JJ. Fatu is on with Solo Sikoa here.
He's going to turn on him. He's not going to help him.
Bodies wrecked everywhere. Fatu and Solo Sikoa are the only two men standing in the ring. Jacob Fatu right now. Oh, wait a minute. What's Solo doing here?
Getting the bigger ladder. He's too small for that small one. Needs the tall one.
I suppose that's a fair point. We talked about before the height differential in the women. And Jacob Fatu literally watching the landscape right now.
Oh, hug it out.
There is no one here to oppose Solo Sikoa from climbing the ladder, thanks to Jacob Fatu wrecking everybody. Do you dare get in the ring with Jacob Fatu? And Solo right now going up the ladder on a...
Watch it.
Wait a minute.
Jacob Fatu has the ankle.
No way.
Oh, yeah. He's doing it.
What the? I think Fatu has officially been let off the leash.
I hate you, Solo.
Ooh.
Oh my
Super kick.
goodness. Pulled down into a super kick.
Called it.
Fatu turned on Solo. Fatu is a free man. Well, I guess that we know once and for all that Jacob Fatu is his own man, and that's left Solo Sikoa once and for all. And we look at this, preemptive
Moonsault.
power. Good shot. How long, JJ, has Jacob Fatu been waiting to do that?
For a while, to be sure.
Ever since literally coming across Diego Fatu winning the United States Championship, you sense the tensions between Sikoa and the Samoan Werewolf reach a boiling point. It looks like it finally reached that climax of the night at Money in the Bank. Fatu got everywhere that last emphatic statement out as, uh-oh. There's a suspended ladder bridge between the apron and the barricade, folks.
Bye, Solo. Nice knowing you.
There is no one now that can control Diego Fatu. Look at the horse on that.
Huge Uranagi by Fatu driving Solo through the ladder bridge.
And with that, Diego Fatu has said farewell to Solo Sikoa.
What more can happen?
I don't fucking know. It is an ugly human car wreck of destruction here with more bodies than I can count. And Diego Fatu with the biggest statement set of all at the expense of Solo Sikoa. How much hate breathes when it's finally brought to the surface. You just saw it tonight by the Samoan Werewolf. Fatu staring back at his work. Meanwhile, Seth freaking Rollins put out, is that another fireball ladder?
Product placement.
Well, regardless, it is the Money Bank ladder match continuing here. And Seth freaking Rollins right now has nobody to oppose him. Not even Solo Sikoa's family, as we just saw. Seth is scrambling to get that giant-ass ladder set up in the middle of the ring under the Money in the Bank briefcase. And Seth might be fingertips away from once again fulfilling his vision of being Mr. Money in the Bank. Watch LA Knight! LA Knight back in the mix. Pulling Seth Rollins down. Clothesline!
LA Knight climbing.
Go
I'll
for
give this
it.
to you, JJ, because this might be the biggest moment of your life.
Seth Rollins back up.
Uh-oh.
Pulling LA Knight off.
Ooh.
Going for the BFT.
Yeah,
Missed
oh!
counters.
Hey,
Curb
the
stop.
ice. Ow!
LA Knight.
I think he may have cleared his last obstacle, JJ, unfortunately, and that's not an insult. That very well might be a fact of life. I think Seth has officially fulfilled his vision. The last bit of competition extinguished. Seth is there. Seth is at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth freaking Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank for the second time.
Bullshit.
The vision might be more of a reality than ever. Seth freaking Rollins is once again Mr. Money in the Bank. The favorite for this match, much to your chagrin, JJ, he got it.
Yeah, but he didn't need it.
Well, let's go back to the highlights here as we heard emphatically from Jacob Fatu. I hate you, because I guess you can't say F you, but he might as well have said that. Not only with a super kick, but a freaking moonsault. Jacob Fatu literally making sure Sikoa knows that you are nothing but below me, sending him to hell with that Uranagi. And while you were about to call LA in LA with Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins burned that vision down with a curb stomp and seized the briefcase. Seth freaking Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. Again.
Jey Uso, beware, because we know he's not going after Cena.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we know Jey Uso is in the building tonight in our main event. Regardless, Seth freaking Rollins and his vision stand triumphant tonight at Money in the Bank. We talked about before how he did the heist of the century, to your point, JJ. 10 years ago, waited till WrestleMania to cash in after winning it back in 2014. Now 2025, he is once again Mr. Money in the Bank and might have a bigger heist of the century plans than what he did back then. Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker embracing Seth freaking Rollins. Good Lord. We know that John Cena and Logan Paul are to come ahead in our main event, still to come tonight, Money in the Bank, along with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. As we got a moment to breathe, let's go ahead and try and dissect what we saw here. Not just the fact Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank again. Sorry, bruv. But Jey Uso 2 is officially uncontrolled right now by anybody with an emphatic "I hate you." He is no longer part of the bloodline as far as I know. How is JC Mateo going to answer this, though? I guess remains to be seen. So let's go ahead and get some people thoughts before we get ready for our main event, because we're going to have plenty of time before that car wreck. Might be more of a car wreck than that car wreck, and that's saying something. JJ, I know you're despondent. Tonight we have established people winning both Money in the Bank ladder matches, but between the women's and the men's, which one are you more dissatisfied in the result in? And what's some of your takeaways for the men Money in the Bank ladder match? Go ahead.
I'm more dissatisfied in the men's. This is the shit that turned me off from wrestling for 10 years. Putting the same people in the same spots. Why does Seth Rollins need the briefcase? Okay, so maybe he cashes it in on Raw after Jay versus Gunther. Great. He doesn't need the briefcase, though. He's a multi-time world champion. Same thing with Naomi, but at least Naomi has had a change in character as of late that kind of warrants it. Seth is the same guy he was 6 months ago. Fans just don't like him for being that guy now. Seth hasn't really evolved and changed his character. Seth is the same guy doing the same shit. The only thing that makes him heel is he has Paul Heyman backing him now. Seth does not need the briefcase. Seth could have had a title match at Night of Champions, at Saturday night's main event, at SummerSlam, just on the fact that he is Seth freaking fucking Rollins.
Don't give him ideas to add that to his name. Breathe. Tranquilo. Breathe. I want to make sure you're okay. Tranquilo. Stat Boy.
I just don't want them to keep doing this shit and drive me away again. I am really enjoying professional wrestling right now. And I don't want to stop watching out of protest again.
I don't want you to do that either, because at the end of the day, I don't want your passion wavered by stupid, dumb booking decisions. Nobody in the fandom should be driven away by that when they love this so much. That being said, while you pull yourself together, and why champions might be abound sooner rather than later in the established, once again, we do know the next time we'll be covering, of course, a WWE premium event will be Night of Champions, and we know that the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, of course, will be returning. I believe it's 8 from Raw, 8 from SmackDown, both opposite sides of the bracket, fatal four-way qualifiers, and then semifinals on each side. And then the representative for Raw and SmackDown, I think, will collide at Money in the Bank. But speaking of collusion, ladies and gentlemen, JJ, it's official.
WrestleMania back in Vegas next year.
2-night extravaganza. We did it once. We're doing it again. So nice. We're doing it twice, back to back. Allegiant Stadium, folks. Las Vegas, Nevada. Saturday, April 18th, and Sunday, April 19th, 2026. WWE brings forward WrestleMania 42. WrestleMania goes back to the City of Sin, Las Vegas. But as I was pointing out earlier, the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, they will begin this week, and the tournament matches start Monday night on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, as we once again look to crown the King and Queen of the Ring. So stay tuned for more on that. I'm sure we'll hype it up, of course, on freaking, Saturday Shenanigans. And apparently, Nikki Bella might be in the mix, as Nikki Bella is returning to Monday Night Raw this Monday night. I know somebody's very happy. Hello, Caitlin. Also, as we also know, JJ, to your point, you very well might have Seth Rollins' vision to come to reality as main event Jey Uso will defend the World Heavyweight Championship against the Ring General Gunther on Monday Night Raw. But before we get there still is one more match, of course, tonight as we try and clean up things here and get ready for our main event. But before we talk more about that, it'll be okay. I got you. It'll be okay. Stat Boy, your thoughts on the men's Money Bank ladder match? The fallout with the Bloodline now, where Solo might become on an island of irrelevancy all by himself, and your takeaway of Seth and Rollins winning before we get into our main event.
I will agree with my brother here. He does, although I did say at the beginning he is number one guy. He's a top tier guy, so it makes sense. But I can agree with his dissatisfaction. However, my dissatisfaction goes with Naomi because I don't see her as a top tier champion right now. I don't. Although I did say, I'm over Tiffy time. So if they want to play that route, they can. But I think, they both are on SmackDown, so it could happen that way. The Bloodline stuff, hey, great job, Jacob Fatu. I mean, that's gonna. You've now taken the next step at that. So yeah, put Solo in his own island of relevancy because he's gonna be, moping backstage without his family now. So there's that. I don't want to see JJ turn away from wrestling because, I like talking wrestling with my family, and if he's not there, it won't be as fun anymore. So I'm pleading with WWE, do not screw this up, okay? Let this be the moment. I mean, don't forget, we've got CM Punk in the background in the rearview mirror. He could screw up the cash in, so that could set some things up again. Overall, great match, brutal. The Zero Miedo, the Mexican Destroyer off the ladder, brutal. All that stuff. The match went great, but the outcome could have been changed big time.
And to your point, I was about to say, it seemed like you were having the time of your life when me and him were talking about the conspiracy theory of Chad Gable and Grande Americano. Still stand by my statement, by the way. You can fight me in court and I will win, not just because I'm wearing a suit, because I know I am right. I am the simple man, and I know I am right. And
you know you're right, but I say this with Dory Lou all the time. Don't poke the bear.
I will poke that bear all fucking night. This is not the Revenant. I will win this shit without a shotgun or a bear trap, and nobody will stop me. Not even JJ. Nobody.
I love you, Noah Foster, but I've known this guy a lot longer than I know you. He wins everything. He wins in Monopoly. He wins in Clue, and he's going to win this debate. I'm sorry. If I have to choose one brother over the other, it's going to be the Renegade because I've known him for 30 years.
Well, I guess me and him are going to fight forever on this debacle until I'm proven I am right. And then, like Lyra Valkyria had to shake or freaking lift Becky's hand, he will have to accept that I was correct and tell me to my face that I was right.
Good luck, bro. I love you, brother. Good luck, but it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
We'll see. TikTok, folks. Timestamp it. The battle of JJ versus Noah. Who wins in the end? Anyway, you already know who wins. Anyway, as we get ready for our main event, just a quick recap for you folks. Don Mysterio did retain against Octagon Jr., his WWE Intercontinental Championship. In the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Naomi did win in the end. She has missed Money in the Bank. An incredible match by the skin of literally Lyra Valkyria tights and a good grip hand by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch did win the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, and Lyra did hold up to the bargain. She raised her hand in victory, but Becky wouldn't settle for that. She had to feed her ego, and Lyra made her pay, as she should have, damn it, dropping the champion. So someone tells me those two are far from done with each other. And of course, we just saw in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Seth freaking Rollins is once again now, for the second time ever, Mr. Money in the Bank. As JJ went to change the diversion to cool down, probably in the cafeteria with his favorite food and beverage, we now get ready for our main event here at Money in the Bank. Time for this tag match as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes enters the Intuit Dome. Let's do this, gentlemen. Oh, man. Every fun out of control. That's all you're getting out of me.
Control. Do it all to get them off their feet. He's gonna whoa on the top of the ladder.
No,
Maybe
he's not
not.
going to do that. You were saying?
To start the show, the kites go out of home. Whoa!
Boom! All right, there we go. Now we got that out of the way. Again, as JJ, I don't know if he's still there or he wants to speak. I know right now he's cooling down, but again, JJ, with all due respect, you and I are going to fight forever, and it better continue forever. You better continue to be part of wrestling because we love you, brother. I know the chat loves you and appreciate you too. And if there's one thing no one in this business that supports their friends wants to see, they don't want to see a friend leave what they love due to one stupid decision of a reoccurring past bygone era too. Cody Rhodes, the former Spirit WWE champion, held the title for 378 days, lost it to John Cena at WrestleMania. Good to have you back on the call, bro. And as we saw,
I've been here the whole time, bro. I just took myself off camera because I was making it official.
All right, fair enough. Just making sure you're all right. And there you go, folks. Add it to the
I just didn't want to be like all leaning into my camera and everything, and so I turned myself off camera. I was here the whole time. I do appreciate the kind words.
Well, again,
but
I know
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. WrestleMania Las Vegas with the official WrestleMania logo, Simply Reliable Studios graphic, just like I did for WrestleMania this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and talk about WrestleMania, shall we? This year, it was WrestleMania 41 with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who finished his story last year, unfortunately fell in agonizing defeat to John Cena this year. And John Cena now holds the timeline of WWE as we know it. We're going to ruin wrestling forever. Cody Rhodes went on an indefinite hiatus, trying to figure out himself how he could bounce back from that loss. He came to save pro wrestling now after helping his feuding partner, main event Jey Uso, at Saturday night's main event. Until we yeet again, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are going to yeet tonight in the Intuit Dome for the first time since Jey Uso become World Heavyweight Champion. Oh boy, here we go. Well, folks, if you can, if you want, up to you. Time for our main event, and here comes main event Jey Uso. Yeet! Look at those crazy lights. That is a crazy building.
Not gonna lie, I almost brought my Yeet Mania shirt for tonight, but it's not WrestleMania. It's Money in the Bank. So
either way, look at that decibel counter, JD. It's booming. 105 on the scale as they're yeeting with Jey Uso. Oh, my arms. That being said, Jey Uso, of course, who accomplished this feat, being the ring general Gunther back at WrestleMania with so far 2 successful defenses underneath his regime, as against Seth freaking Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, and of course, Logan Paul. It was John Cena that tried to ruin wrestling, almost giving Logan Paul the championship at Saturday night's main event that led us to this match tonight. And regardless of what happens here tonight as of right now, we know that Jey Uso has a defense waiting for him on Monday Night Raw against Gunther. And Jey looking good, I will say, in the white and gold. About to say, I don't know if Jey wants to yeet this hard before the match actually begins. Then again, that's probably nothing new for the heavy yeet champion.
let me know when he high fives Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I got you, of course. Jey Uso, yeah, I'll let you know. Of course, as Jey Uso makes his way through the WWE Universe in the Intuit Dome. Everyone loves this, man. Everyone appreciates, respects main event Jey Uso. There it is. Oh, look at that. And then Michael Cole, and then Pat McAfee. I say, the coolest man in the room is named main event Jey Uso. There's no denying that. And see right now the commentary even doing, I still can't believe how animated Michael Cole is in this era. It's crazy. It's a movement that's taking the world by storm. Main event Jey Uso yeeting worldwide with the WWE Universe tonight. And let's keep in mind, JJ, Cody and Jey Uso have been successful as a tag team before. They are former undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
That's fair. I mean, granted, they only held it for what, a week?
Something like that, I think.
You know, they held it for a cup of coffee. We'll say that. But they are, to your point, champions. And did I miss it being? Well, I was on commercial anyway. But Nikki Bella returns to Raw on Monday night.
That's correct.
Whoop-de-doo.
Well,
Yay.
then, that boy's not happy about that.
Yeah, clearly, he's been freaking just on reaction.
Of all the returns to announce on a Monday Night Raw, why? Why? What's the point?
Money.
Well, let me ask this: why not?
Why not? Because there's plenty of other talent that could possibly come back or make their debuts than Nikki Bella. I'm not hating on it. I just don't like it. There's a difference. I'm not going to say I'm just. Luckily, tomorrow night I'll be covering Game 2 of the NBA Finals during that time.
Actually, tomorrow is Sunday. Raw's on Monday, so.
Well, you know what I meant.
I know what you said.
No, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Then.
I know what you said.
Okay, so I messed it up. It's a Stat Boy botch. You can't have a PLE watch.
What is it that Stat Boy did?
Oh, he botch.
Thank you. You can't have a watch along without a Stat Boy botch. It's a given.
And apparently, you can have a Jey Uso match without a bunch of people yeeting.
I do like the way they're phrasing the return to Vegas. It's time to double down.
Fair enough.
As Fat Boy knows, that is gambling lingo, so it's very ingenious, I guess would be the proper word.
I would say that's a smart idea because we all know when you double down, you either strike it rich or you bust.
Hey, I've had pretty good success when I double down at blackjack. I'm not going to say 100%, but I'd say I've had like a solid 65 to 70% success when I double down.
Now, did you ever double down?
Always go for it.
Okay, let me ask you this. As someone that's played blackjack online before, I mean, who hasn't played blackjack like in Red Dead Redemption, for example? Have you ever doubled down on a soft 13, or did you double down when it was always safe, like on 11 or 10?
I usually double down when it's safe. I'm a smart gambler.
Good man.
No offense, Stat Boy's a dumb gambler. Don't cross your arms. You lost an entire fucking paycheck in Vegas and then borrowed money from Pop on your next paycheck so you could keep gambling. Okay? Don't give me the face when you
I've gotten better, okay?
Okay? In the words of Phil Brooks, stop me when I'm telling lies.
There
And
are
how
certain
many times
truths.
have you stood there next to me when
boy.
I've gambled and you've been like, oh man, don't do that. That's a sucker bet. And I double my money or triple my money.
Oh, Lord.
There are certain truths in life, my brother.
Love you, bro, but I speak facts. Like the great legend Uncle Remus. It's the truth. It's factual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity.
Oh, Lord. You know what? For once, Seth, I agree. I also agree that John Cena, the fact of the matter is he has literally turned the WWE Championship and the importance of it upside down as we are on the countdown to the end of WWE as we know it, saying that he will take that home and the entire world will be frozen. There will be another championship, but this is the last time you will see the last real champion in WWE, particularly tonight in the Intuit Dome in LA.
Blue and gold, Chargers colors, Bruins colors, whereas last night in Bakersfield he had purple and gold, Laker colors.
Now look what you did, JJ.
If I were to get Cena gear for his final run, I would get the gear he had last night in Bakersfield, the purple and gold. He isn't going to do black and silver for the Kings, even though it would go better with his gimmick of black and white. So I'd get the purple and gold because back in the days when the Keens played at the Forum, they wore purple and gold.
17-time world champion, 5-time United States champion, 4-time tag team champion, previous Royal Rumble winner, previous Money in the Bank winner.
Starboy needs some help here. What is the countdown at? Help me out, guys.
I think we're at 19 days. It's got to be pretty close to that at this point. I think we just beat the 20-day threshold. Let's go to Lisa Taylor for the introductions to this match. Literally, this is the match. Man, a lot of these PLEs have been ending more often than not with a match. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso together as a duo. To JJ's point, I don't think they have tagged together since they lost the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Sounds about right.
Of course, main event, Jey Uso has been standing out on his own on Monday Night Raw, now literally leads as the heavy champion. With the blue side plates. Oh, man, that's a nice touch. It actually gives the belt some color. That makes, a little bit of sense. Doesn't make it look like a joke. A joke. Of all sorts of pop culture crossovers and tag teams you would think you see in WWE, this was not one of them I ever thought I would see.
Fair enough. I will agree with you on that. And Charles, I did have to do him like that. He's my brother from another mother. Come next year, I will have known Stat Boy for 30 years.
That's insane.
Okay? That's my brother from another mother. I can do him like that. In all honesty, he'd be pissed at me if I didn't do him like that.
Yeah.
Because it would mean that I don't love him anymore.
I'm about to say, if you're not criticizing somebody, you clearly don't like him. The story of my job life as the youngest person in my department. You should tell that, of course,
Yeah, the way we always say it is, if we don't take the time to come up with new ways to insult you, we've stopped giving a shit about you.
Yeah, that might be accurate. This is our main event here at the Intimate Dome Money in the Bank. Again, the last time actually that Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso teamed together was against Giga Fatu and Tama Tonga, and they were successful. That was back in February earlier this year. And of course, we know all four of these men have history that goes all sorts of different ways. It was Jey Uso, John Cena, Logan Paul. They were the last three men, JJ, in the Royal Rumble. And John Cena eliminated Logan Paul.
And then Jey Uso shockingly eliminated John Cena to win. And Cena tags Logan in. Logan's going to start the match.
Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes, no strangers to each other. We've seen these men later eliminate each other in the Royal Rumble. One year, Cody Rhodes eliminated Logan Paul from the Royal Rumble.
Well, John Cena is not going to give the fans what they want. The fans want to see Cena wrestle. He's going to make them wait.
Well, Logan Paul.
And then he tags in to John Cena. What is Cena doing here? He's playing mind games with Cody.
Well, he knows he can beat Cody Rhodes, and at the end of the day, what did Cody Rhodes say? You can't wrestle. John Cena told him, I don't have to wrestle you. And ironically enough, John Cena was right because he beat Cody Rhodes regardless at WrestleMania, which is why we're in the situation in the first place. Oof. Immediate tag to Logan Paul after Cody Rhodes got the better of that exchange with the shoulder block. No ring rest at all here for Cody Rhodes. Might I add, again, this is Cody Rhodes' first match since WrestleMania. This is his first match since April 20th. A little bit of show off here by the ever so athletic Cody Rhodes against the Maverick Logan Paul. And of course, we talk about, again, history and legacies. It was 15 years ago in 2010, lest you forget. And of course, JJ, you may not necessarily remember this. There was a certain group that Wade Barrett took against WWE and John Cena with in this very city. And Ben
Oh,
Vaquer
trust me, I remember the Nexus a great deal because that's one of the things that really started to turn me off of the company was when John Cena single-handedly eliminated the last 2 or 3 members of the Nexus at SummerSlam 2010. I was 6th row for that.
You witnessed that. Tag made a Jey Uso.
I was pissed.
The son is, I was pissed.
Like, I was happy that I actually got to see Bret Hart wrestle live for whatever a Bret Hart match was in 2010. Stroke. But I was pissed when Cena won. Nexus should have easily had that match.
Yeah,
just like Paul easily drops Jey Uso here with that forearm smash.
A big right hand by Logan Paul, who previously faced Cody Rhodes as well, one-on-one for the undisputed WWE Championship at King and Queen of the Ring, ironically enough, last year. And of course, King and Queen of the Ring will be covering here, folks. Of course, you know the tournament matches will start this Monday on Raw and continue through SmackDown. Nice pop-up neck breaker by Jey Uso. There's a cover now. Look at the leg and gets a 2 count. Of course, Jey Uso also defended the title against Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event, despite John Cena's involvement. And of course, we got to wonder again the condition of Jey Uso, not since just that match, JJ, but what was the condition be after the night ahead of facing Darlene General Gunther on Monday Night Raw? Oof. Big right hand by Jey Uso to Logan Paul here. And of course, the weight of being a champion with this company comes with always having a target on your back. I will say Jey Uso, though, for all, you know, the Yeet merchandise he's selling, he's really proven his worth as a champion. Nice blockbuster out of the corner by Logan Paul, though. Choose the half cover on Jey Uso, gets a 2 count.
Yeah, he's definitely silenced some of his harshest critics. You know, we'll see if he's still champion come Monday night or even come tonight, as we could very easily see Seth Rollins cash in the middle of this matchup or at the end of this matchup.
And Seth Rollins has, of course, history of all 4 of these men. Beat Logan Paul in this city, WrestleMania 39. Of course, the fallout with him and Jey Uso we recently saw on Monday Night Raw. Paul came and goaded him and giving him a title match in the main event that night. To your point, was it for CM Punk or Sami Zayn? Seth Rollins already might be World Heavyweight Champion. And Seth and Cody, they went in together as literally a shield and sword to beat the Bloodline and finish Cody's story last year.
Good pun, brother.
Irish whip reversal to Jey Uso hard in the corner. And in an alternative life, literally prior to Elimination Chamber, I would argue that John Cena was the biggest supporter of Jey Uso and the energy and positivity he brought. The referee's back distracted here. I just saw Logan Paul take a cheap shot. Now John Cena in control of Jey Uso. I don't know. I mean, you saw the hype with Jey Uso's entrance, but you've got to wonder, are those words that John Cena told him at Saturday night's main event still looming, still feeding space in Jey Uso's head? And can he rise above that pressure continuously as John Cena's done these last 2 decades? Again, John Cena's been and done that 17 times. Jey Uso's doing it now for the first time. Time made for Logan Paul. And again, very little time given to Jey Uso to try and make it over the tag as Logan Paul with a reverse heel hook. Logan Paul preventing Jey Uso from making the tag here. Again, Logan Paul, one of the smoothest transitions. Cover, back press with the near leg that I've ever seen for somebody, not a professional wrestler here in WWE. A tag made again now to Cena. John Cena, Logan Paul isolating Jey Uso in their corner. We saw, of course, Logan Paul was also involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match a couple of years ago as well when we had a Senior Money in the Bank crown. And John Cena right now just jaw-jacking Jey Uso again, probably trying to feed space in his head, get that self-doubt not only tonight but ahead of Monday night. And right now, oh man, Jey Uso definitely needs to make a tag here. And John Cena doing as little as possible, to your point, JJ, with a smile on his face. At least on the outside. But I still wonder, truly, is this what he wants to be on the inside? We saw shades of that, where it's like almost a second doubt after he beat Randy Orton at Backlash and looked down at the championship. And here we go.
Shoulder tackle.
I'm giving this to JJ now. We'll see how long this holds up because, again, he's not supposed to get the fans what they want, right?
That's why he's bowing to them, taunting.
Well, regardless, like I said, there's a reason why John Cena has been the GOAT of this business since 2003.
Shoulder tackle.
That's
two moves of doom.
Yeah, about to say, you know the sequence, JJ. Now, how long does it take for him to actually finish it?
Yep.
So, do the third one.
Jey Uso countering back the punches.
Oh!
Go bomb.
Watch him learn.
Well, I mean, Logan Paul's learning from the best, if we're being honest here.
You can't see me.
Oh, Lord.
5-knuckle shuffle.
As if it was nothing.
To Cena, it is nothing. That was 4. Uso on the shoulders.
Oh!
Uso turns it into the rear naked choke, though. Same move that made Gunther tap.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first time we ever saw Jey Uso use that move, to your point. John Cena might be fading here, but John Cena carries all Jey Uso's weight on his back.
Hey, just like we said about Ethan Page earlier, just because he doesn't use the moves doesn't mean he doesn't know how to do the moves.
A critical moment here while Jey Uso and John Cena are both down. Jey Uso, a critical chance to make the tag to Cody Rhodes, who wants in this match more than anything right now. Got a lot of distance to cover here. Again, capacity crowd on hand. The Intuit Dome, 17,000 plus WWE fans apparently stopped in the rafters. Jey Uso trying to crawl over to make the tag to Cody Rhodes. John Cena, blind time made by Logan Paul. His fingertips away as Logan Paul gets in between him and Cody Rhodes. Again, so fast and agile is the Maverick. It is ridiculous how athletically gifted this man might be, despite his personality. Big boot. Posing, brother. And a massive sit-out leg drop and a cover. Like this will cover Katsu.
For as lax as that cover was, for Logan Paul to still get a 2 shows you the strength of Logan Paul and how weak Jey Uso is at this point.
I'm about to say, yeah, how much has been taken out of Jey Uso, both mentally and physically, by John Cena. Again, those words that loomed on John Cena that night in that backstage segment before Jey Uso defended against Logan Paul. How much is that stuck in the head of Jey Uso since that night? And is that showing here? And we saw what Gunther said on Monday Night Raw, JJ. Again, there's a lot of psychological warfare right now inside Jey Uso's head, because I still think not everybody believes that he should be in this place, nor can he handle being in this place as the champion. Oh. Logan again slamming Jey Uso down hard and literally dragging him all the way towards his corner, much to Cody Rhodes' chagrin. And Cody Rhodes just itching to get involved here. Body shots right now by Logan Paul. And of course, Logan Paul has that titanium inside his right hand, by the way, that titanium plate, lest we forget. And we know that Gunther is watching this on. Why this should have been Gunther in the main event, challenging Jey Uso for the title. Gunther has to be smiling. Not only with what Jey Uso might look as weak, but literally Jey Uso is getting punished here.
That's fair.
And there goes John with a cheap shot to Cody. To your point, JJ, you were about to say something regarding what I said?
No, I said that's fair. That's a fair point.
Oh, well, there you go. And Cody Rhodes, again, he can only take so much, but right now, he is literally hurting his tag partner here, distracting the official as we got a double team on Jey Uso. Getting double team, choked out, getting brawled out here. Now John Cena hooking up Jey Uso. German suplex. Into the cover, hook on the far leg, and get a kick out at 2. Jey Uso has been getting nothing more but a beat down here since the bell's rung practically, ever since taking out to Cody. Now just wearing Jey Uso down in the typical WWE rest hold as the polarizing chants that have defined John Cena's career start ringing out here in the Intuit Dome. Love him or hate him, you can't help but respect him. He's literally been WWE's top project since 2003.
Yeah.
His main matches are
The conversion into the rapper gimmick.
From rapper to the freaking never give up to freaking reality era and to this John Cena. Overhead shot there by Cody Rhodes. Blocks the boot now, trying to grab a two for Jey Uso, who rocks John Cena with Intercontinental. Not sure he got enough of it, though. I think he caught him in the upper arm, though. But a critical moment again for Jey Uso to make the tag. Cody Rhodes knows full well right now that he has a huge opportunity right now to encourage Jey Uso to get up and make the tag. Again, way too close to the corner. Blind tag made by Logan Paul, though. Again, I'm not sure John Cena won. Whoa. Tag made by Cena. Very forceful blind tag. Again, JJ, you and I talked about, though, what happens when two men with supersized egos tag for the first time ever.
I knew this was going to happen.
Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Jey Uso's crawling over to Cody Rhodes. As these two continue to bicker. Time in to Cody! Cody's legal! Yeah, who's teaching who right now? I knew these two couldn't get along. The Eagles got the best of them. Wow, God, what a power slam! Drop down into the uppercut goes Cody Rhodes off the second rope. Cody Cutter! Logan Paul right now sent up and over to the floor. The American Nightmare was drilling and so flies in the Intercontinental with a tope suicida. Cody is fired up here tonight, JJ, and he's finally got John Cena himself.
Hell yeah.
Now Cody Rhodes trying to the top rope. John Cena, though, taken down with a missile drop kick. And what's Cody looking for here? Uh-oh. Looking for put him away with Crossroads. And with a right hand, one lucky shot. Hey, by John Cena. Cover. DJ saves the matchup.
Barely. If Cena had been able to get it there despite the tension with him and Logan Paul, that would have been crazy.
Oh.
Gets the kick. Logan
Went for the Logan lariat, but missed the landing. 8-8 to Jey Uso now.
Cody Rhodes got hooked.
Crossroads.
Logan, oh! He smashed his own partner.
That's going to do it right there.
Spear! Everybody's down. Good grief, that sequence broke down in a hurry. Yeah, Logan Paul to your point standpoint with the stagger on the Logan Lariat, and then to JJ's point, splashing his own partner, got followed up with the spear, all four men down. That miscommunication could have literally cost Cena and Logan here tonight, but the match continues to move on. All four men
Cena and Cody are legal, I think.
I believe you're correct that it is still Cena and Cody. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes have been beaten up, though, far worse than Logan Paul and John Cena, though. At the end of the day, you may not like each other. You may think you can teach one another, but you need to work together if you're going to win here. That's what Logan Paul and John Cena need to do. And I don't think they can do that. Oof. Big uppercut. Knee to the head of Jey Uso. A little bit groggy. John Cena, once again, hoisting up Jey up on the shoulders. Jey able to escape, though. Big super kick takes John Cena out of play. Oh, man. Logan Paul with a massive elbow strike. Overhead shot received by Jey Uso. Now, Logan and Jey right now squaring off here in the middle of the ring. Toe-to-toe. Massive uppercut, though, by Logan Paul. Takes down the World Heavyweight Champion, Jey Uso. Cody now. Squaring off against Logan Paul. These two went one-on-one, as I said last year. Can't quit the ring over the Undisputed WWE Championship. And now Cody moving forward with the jabs. Little flip-flop and fly, if you will. Oh, no. Logan stopping the Brown again with a kick to the midsection now.
Ooh,
Logan.
Nice move.
Pulverizer!
What are you pointing at?
What the hell is he pointing at? Is he calling it stupid drone? I don't know. JJ, why the hell is he not going for the cover here? Like, seriously.
Don't know.
Why would you not go for the pin when you have a chance? Fuck the internet. It doesn't matter.
He's caught that drone twice.
And Cody Rhodes now looking to give him a viral moment the hard way. Smile for your camera, dumbass. Oh my God, what a superplex.
Well, oh, the camera's gone.
Uso splash.
Great camera shot, though.
That's what you get for being an over-glorified selfie idiot. That's a superplex by Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso out of the opposite corner with an Uso splash, crushing the Maverick, you dumb viral idiot. Now John Cena got Jey hooked for the AA off the hip attack. John Cena hooks up Cody Rhodes now possibly for the AA. And hits it, and John Cena with the cover. Got a 2.5.
Cena almost did that single-handedly.
Wow. How the hell did Cody Rhodes kick out of that? Yeah, might as well be a handicap match at this point. John Cena versus 3 men. John Cena's newfound anger and frustration towards everybody in the WWE Universe, driven by bitter hatred, rage, and frustration, culminated over 22 years. To John Cena. Uh-oh.
There goes the announce table.
And might I add, those are the newly enforced announce tables with metal edges, JJ. They don't break as easily.
Keyword is as easily, but they do still break.
And I bet they still fucking suck to be pushed through. It's turned to a pause. I figured it was going to. With the John Cena match, you don't get a wrestling match anymore. Even if the man can't wrestle, you get a freaking brawl. There goes the Spanish commentary table. Which one breaks first? Anyone want to take a guess?
He's going to stand on one and AA Cody through the other.
I think you're on to something, JJ. Either way, it looks like he's trying to end Cody Rhodes here. Desperation. Cena looking out to the WWE Universe to send a very painful message at their new chosen hero. John Cena got Cody Rhodes. Cody Wasserman. Oh my God! Spear across the tables! Sam and Cody and that tail didn't break, JJ. There goes the replay here. Another look. Good God.
Fantastic counter there by Jey. Didn't even see him coming. Great camera work there.
And again, that table didn't budge underneath John Cena with the spear impact. And meanwhile, Jey Uso now lay prone on the English announce table. Logan Paul.
There you go.
God!
Huge acai moonsault from Logan Paul puts Jey Uso through the table.
Springing off the second rope, crashing through the World Heavyweight Champion. And both men are lying in a heap. Take a look through the table. Holy hell. Again, sheer incredible athleticism. Meanwhile, John Cena's got the championship, and the referee's nowhere to play. He's chanting on Jey and Logan. Brian, turn around, damn it, you idiot. Cena's got the title. Cena with the belt across the head. God damn it. Not like this. It's WrestleMania all over again. Again, John Cena.
Who's this?
What the fuck? Double leg takedown, but who the hell?
Who is it?
Cena, but
R-Truth!
What the hell?
what the fuck? R-Truth just ran the title for John Cena's head. He's fired. What the fuck's he doing here? A literal hit and run in Los Angeles.
You got it. You wanted him, and you got him back.
We're Cody and Cena laid out right now, and the ref had no damn idea how it happened. R-Truth returned after John Cena beat outside his main event. Now Cody up in position. John Cena on crossroads. Cover. Has been pinned by Cody Rhodes.
Well, how about that?
What the hell, JJ?
I don't know.
I didn't see that coming. I sure as hell didn't.
Of all people to oppose Logan Paul and John Cena particularly, I did not have R-Truth on my radar tonight to show my money in the bank in Los Angeles as Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso stand in victory. And again, Jey Uso still has to be worse for wear, knowing Gunther is waiting for him on Monday Night Raw, and even more likely, Seth freaking Rollins. JJ, take the replays. What the fuck just happened?
I still am dumbfounded by all this, Noah. Like, holy shit.
I thought we were going to get a WrestleMania repeat with that belt shot to the head, and then a freaking fan, I thought a fan from the audience, just literally double-A John Cena, took him down in a hoodie, and reveals himself to be none other than R-Truth, Ron Killings. A man that idolized John Cena. A man that led his last match against John Cena. I know that's going to make headlines this week as Cody Rhodes just pinned the undisputed WWE Championship. Every WWE fan standing in unison right now that John Cena and Logan Paul have been screwed, and John Cena for the first time, JJ, since this last time is now tour, has been pinned.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso stand triumphant tonight at Money in the Bank, but what the fuck is happening next? You have to stay tuned for Monday Night Raw to find out. Will Jey Uso survive the ring jam with Gunther one more time? And will John Cena recover from this? And what's next for Logan Paul? Where the hell is R-Truth going to show up? More questions than answers as Money in the Bank concludes. For the regular wrestling JJ Williams, for Stat Boy Mike, I'm Noah Foster. We'll see you here shortly after Shenanigans. This has been WWE Money in the Bank. What the fuck?
I don't even know, gentlemen. Noah, I will let you handle the wrap-up. I will see everybody in about 40 minutes, give or take, for Shenanigans.
It sounds good, JJ. And Stat Boy, I mean, again, I'm dumbfounded what the fuck just happened tonight, particularly in the main event, as Cody Rhodes just pinned John Cena since losing to him at WrestleMania. And that's the first time John Cena has been pinned since he returned on this retirement tour.
Indeed, and I'm going to have to note that in his stat book.
the way I literally thought of this at the beginning of the match, I was like, is Cena's ego really going to get involved? I thought Cena was actually going to like walk out on Logan, and Logan had to fight them both on their own. So that could have been a way out, but you know, because they did the back and forth type thing. Another thing, the first question out of somebody's mouth at the press conference for Triple H was, where or why is R-Truth? What's up with that? Well, now we've got a bit of an answer, but there's still going to be questions to be made. So Triple H has got a lot to talk about during that. Overall, I mean, great match. The drone technology that surprised me, how he could catch the drone twice. That was an amazing new shot. I don't know the first doggone thing about drones, that they can be annoying, but they can also have one heck of a camera angle. So there you go with that. I guess, and I'm hoping Triple H listened. The fans have been saying, we want Truth ever since Truth put out there on social media, hey, I'm done. If this was his last appearance, we don't know. Hey, he gave the fans one last run. So a lot of things to talk about. You know, I'm gonna excuse myself for the night. I'm gonna bow out because I've got a morning shift tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I continue with the watch-alongs. It's game 2 of the NBA Finals, and hopefully that game does not go into overtime, because on Monday is game 3. I can't handle all these overtime games. I can't do it. It was wild.
So on tonight.
I want to also say thank you for allowing me to do commentary. I really didn't even think I was going to do commentary tonight. I was literally in the living room playing Call of Duty, thinking the show started at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. And then I get the link. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get upstairs, put the controller down, threw some laundry in the washer and dryer, and came up here. So I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on the show. I greatly appreciate it. Have fun with Shenanigans. I love my family. I love my audience. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for the watch-alongs. Stat Boy out.
Thank you, Stat Boy, and thank you, JJ, and thank you to all of you as we wrap up our watch-along here for WWE Money in the Bank. Again, we hope to see you here in about 40 minutes for the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. But if not, I hope that you see you all for House of Glory. We hope to see you for GCW. We hope to see you next week, Wednesday, for AEW, New Japan, or something else down the line. Again, Simoa Studios will keep you in tune for all the biggest shows, previews, and specials across all things wrestling, including the 2, WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA, and so much more as Money in the Bank concludes tonight. What a wild night. So until next time, whenever we may see you, if you haven't already, subscribe, and again, subscribe. But he has been Stat Boy Mike. Again, thank you so much for joining us, man. It's been an absolute wild party. And thank you all again. Hope that you enjoyed our coverage. We'll see you next time. If we don't see you later on tonight, I hope to see you all again very soon. Until then, make a positive impact to your life. Have a good night. This has been WWE Money in the Bank, and that's what's up, apparently. R-Truth?